God King of all realms, starting by summoning an angel. Hey, fanfic family. So glad to see you here again to continue this incredible adventure. As always, kindly remember, this story is 100% fiction. So don't go looking for dimensional portals in your closet. All rights to this fantastic novel belong to the original author. We're just your humble narrators of epic tales. Are you enjoying the fanfic? Show it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and dropping us a like. And if you're impatient for more exclusive content, our Patreon is your happy place. Chapter 151. The battle was over, and the battle was over. It's Lin Yu's angels. The war has begun. Damn. There are so many angels, at least 1 or 2,000. Will all of Lin Yu's angels come? How is that possible? Last night, Lin Yu sold more than 1,000 pieces of equipment, and this morning he sold hundreds of pieces of equipment, earning hundreds of thousands of gold coins. What's 1 or 2,000 angels? According to my estimate, I'm afraid Lin Yu has nearly 10,000 angels now. Hearing this, a group of figures in the jungle all took a breath. This is a team of combat professionals attracted by the sound of the horn. And at this moment, a strange noise came from the woods not far away. The members of this professional team also immediately tightened their weapons and became alert. At the same time, they also surrounded the 2 priests in the center of the team and focused on protecting them. Although the priests' combat effectiveness is not high, they are crucial. After all, a team without inners will have no future. After a long time, a large group of figures suddenly jumped out of the woods opposite, and they were also combat professionals. The 2 professional teams stared at each other. Both sides were very surprised. Brothers on the opposite side, we are also angels looking for Lin Yu. We are fellow travelers. Put away your weapons. Okay, you put them away first. After a long time, none of the professionals in the 2 teams put away their weapons. It was obvious that they were worried that the other party would not follow the moral code of martial arts. After all, the experience reward for killing combat professionals is much richer than killing wild monsters. This is obviously the floating island encouraging the combat professionals to kill each other. Survival of the fittest. Eliminate the weak, and finally leave the elite warriors. Just when the 2 teams were on guard against each other, a large wave of figures rushed out from the woods in the other direction. It was also a team of professionals attracted by the sound of the horn. And the scale was even larger. There were as many as 60 or 70 people. It was probably 2 or 3 professional teams merged together. At this moment, this area has gathered more than 100 combat professionals. At this time, a 3rd-level elementalist came out of the last team. He said, "Listen to me, brothers. We are all like-minded. There is no need to fight. Why don't we sit down and discuss how to get those angels and let them take us to Lin Yu's territory? Do we need to discuss this? Why don't we just go find them?" "That's right, that won't work," the 3rd-level elementalist said. "What if those angels of Lin Yu don't recognize us as relatives and try to harm us?" A professional mocked. "I understand the harm, but I don't understand how you recognize us as relatives." The 3rd-level elementalist smiled and said, "Lin Yu is from Blue Star just like us. In this strange world, aren't we relatives?" All the professionals were speechless, but they couldn't refute. However, the tense atmosphere just now was eased. The 3rd-level elementalist said again, "The forest troll tribe is covered by a protective shield, and we can't get in. Of course, even if we can get in, we can't get close, because there is a lot of killing going on inside. With our strength, once we get close, we will die. Are you so afraid of death?" A professional sneered and said, "Then aren't you afraid that after you go to Lin Yu's territory, you will be forced by Lin Yu to attack the local stronghold? Only a fool would do such a thing." The 3rd-level elementalist curled his lips and said, "We go to Lin Yu just to get his protection. If he forces us to die, who would go to him?" Someone frowned and said, "According to what you said, why would Lin Yu take us in?" The 3rd-level elementalist smiled and said, "We can only be regarded as living in Lin Yu's territory. Can't we just give him some protection money when the time comes? Wouldn't a lord professional like Lin Yu not like to take a sum of gold coins for free? That makes sense. We are going to seek refuge, not to die. If Lin Yu asks us to attack the stronghold of local forces, or forces us to do something dangerous to serve his territory, we can directly refuse. As long as Lin Yu agrees to this condition, we are willing to give him a sum of gold coins as protection money." There are many professionals who are going out voice, expressing agreement. Gold coins are also very important to combat professionals, because they need to use gold coins to buy equipment and enhance their strength. Paying protection fees is enough to make them feel distressed. However, some combat professionals in the team also feel that it is not right. After all, they are begging for Lin Yu's protection, not Lin Yu actively recruiting them. Why should Lin Yu agree to such conditions? Besides, Lin Yu is now rich, so why does he need that little protection fee? At this time, a professional said dissatisfiedly, "What are you discussing, Jill? Let's find a way to get to Lin Yu's territory first. Do you still need to think about this? There are only two ways now. Either we go find it ourselves, or let's bet on whether the angels will give us this opportunity. I choose the second one." "Me too." A professional stood up and said, "During this period, there are professionals in our team who die every day. Maybe it will be my turn tomorrow. I want to take a gamble and let the angels take me there." This statement was agreed by many combat professionals. Some people even thought, as long as Lin Yu is willing to accept them, at most, they will pay more protection fees. Compared to gold coins, their own lives are more important. Then it's decided, the third-level elementalist said, "After Lin Yu's angel army conquers the troll tribe, we will go to see them. If those angels are unwilling to take us to Lin Yu's territory, then we will withdraw. After they leave, we will return to this tribe to see if there is anything to gain." Okay, all the combat professionals present had no objection. After waiting for about half an hour, suddenly, the magic shield that enveloped the entire forest troll tribe disappeared. A combat professional was surprised and said, "Is the battle over so quickly? This tribe has thousands of forest trolls, and a large number of forest trolls were attracted by the sound of the horn before. It is estimated that there are at least 10,000 forest trolls in the tribe." The other combat professionals were also full of horror. It was unbelievable. They knew that the angels were very powerful, but it was a bit too powerful to be this strong. Forest trolls are advanced troops anyway. A stronghold guarded by 10,000 forest trolls was captured by 2,000 angels in just half an hour? This is incredible. However, no matter how much you believe it, you still have to accept the reality. Soon after the magic shield disappeared, the buildings in the troll tribe began to collapse in large numbers. In just a blink of an eye, the huge forest troll tribe has become a ruin. Including the tall walls around the tribe, they also collapsed into rubble all over the ground. As the walls disappeared, the combat professionals present also saw the scene inside the tribe clearly. At that moment, everyone lost consciousness again. All of them had dull eyes, as if they were stupid. This is because they saw that in addition to a small number of forest troll corpses in the tribe, most of the forest trolls were kneeling on the ground at this time. They were so dense and so many that it was incredible. In other words, this was not a fierce battle of attack and defense of strongholds. Only in the early stage when the angel army entered the troll tribe did a few small-scale battles break out. The rest of the time, the angels were recruiting the forest trolls in the tribe. Fuck, this is too scary. How did those angels do it? They could actually recruit so many forest trolls in such a short time. To put it bluntly, even if they recruited so many pigs, it would take more than this time. You know, forest trolls are advanced soldiers. Could it be that Lin Yu's angels mastered a magic that can force others to surrender, or force faith? This is very likely. Isn't this the method that the angels in the novel are best at? In the jungle, more than 100 combat professionals looked at the 4 angel armies standing above the ruins of the tribe, and they all felt their scalps tingling and their hearts chilled. Then are we still going? Of course we are going. What are you afraid of? We are combat professionals, our will is indestructible, and our hearts are as strong as iron. Get lost. My heart is as strong as iron. Fuck. Suddenly, a combat professional the person exclaimed, "Look at the chat channel on the island. There are many professionals who broke the news, claiming that Lin Yu's angels kill anyone they see, let alone surrender to Lin Yu. They don't even give them a chance to surrender." Hiss. Is this true? There are not just 1 or 2 professionals who broke the news, but many. It should be true. Now, the chat channel on the island has exploded. Chapter 152. The battle was over, and the battle was over. The combat professionals present were all panicked. When they thought of Lin Yu's angels killing anyone they saw, they felt their scalps tingling. After all, they were now under the eyes of the 4 angel legions. Without hesitation, more than 100 combat professionals immediately went online and opened the island chat channel. They had to confirm whether this was true or false. At this moment, the island chat channel was boiling. Countless professionals were discussing the topic of Lin Yu's angels killing anyone they saw. I don't believe it. This must be false. We combat professionals have never offended Lin Yu, so why did he order his angels to kill us? Do they think we have taken away the resources of the Dark Forest? If so, that's too overbearing. I don't believe it either. It must be fake news. What fake news? I can guarantee with my personality that this is absolutely true. All the members of my team were killed by Lin Yu's angels. If I hadn't been lucky and escaped quickly, I would have died in their hands. It's the same with our team. We just met Lin Yu's angels and were killed by those angels before we could say a few words. There were dozens of people in the team, and only me and 2 companions escaped by chance. My team was not slaughtered by the angels because we were lucky and were not discovered by them. However, I witnessed the destruction of another professional team with my own eyes. More than 30 combat professionals were killed cleanly, and even the corpses were not spared. The angels led a group of wild monsters to eat them up. This method is even more evil than the devil. Not only did they kill people, but they also lured monsters to eat the corpses. In an instant, countless professionals gasped. Whether it was combat professionals or lord professionals, they were all frightened. Although, the floating island of 10,000 worlds is an extraordinary world with war and killing as the main theme, at this stage, the enemies of professionals are still those wild monsters and local forces. There is no conflict between professionals. Or it can be said that the time for conflict has not yet come. When the battle for seizing the island begins, the war among professionals will start. No one expected it. Lin Yu started to attack the professionals now. Not only was the method cruel, but the target of the killing was still combat professionals, not lord players. In their opinion, lord players like Lin Yu should win over their combat professionals. Instead of slaughtering combat professionals is to go against the tens of millions of combat professionals on the island. For such a thing, I am afraid that except Lin Yu, no lord professional has such courage, including those top lords. After all, this is equivalent to losing the support of the people. It is too bold to be an enemy of tens of millions of combat professionals. Lin Yu has gone crazy. He actually raised the butcher knife against our combat professionals. Only a madman would do this, not crazy, but arrogance. Lin Yu must think that his army is an angel, and he has a blacksmith shop in hand. He can get a lot of gold coins by selling equipment and summon a large-scale angel army. He has arrogance to the point that he does not take our tens of millions of combat professionals seriously. Kill if you want to kill. Slaughter if you want to slaughter. I didn't expect that Lin Yu would be such a person. It's so terrible. I have always been a fan of Lin Yu and always wanted to join him. Now I know how stupid I am. I have turned from a fan to hater. Now, even if Lin Yu wants to form an alliance, I will not join. Me too. Lin Yu ordered the angels under his command to slaughter our combat professionals. Now he is the enemy of all of us combat professionals. Even if his troops are angels, we must gather together to resist, especially the combat professionals in the Dark Forest. If you don't resist, you will die in Lin Yu's hands sooner or later. Only by destroying Lin Yu's angel army and destroying Lin Yu's territory can you have a chance to survive. In addition, I would like to advise those combat professionals around Lin Yu's territory to run as fast as you can. Compared with others, you are the most dangerous now. Received. Our team has withdrawn. We are also on the way to retreat. We will go back to where we came from. Lin Yu really disappoints us. The entire chat channel on the island was in chaos. Countless professionals were denouncing Lin Yu. In just a blink of an eye, the impression and perception of Lin Yu in the minds of professionals plummeted to the freezing point. Before, they still admired and envied him, but now they all turned into disgust and hatred. At this time, another combat professional appeared. Sent a message to the chat channel on the island. Brothers and sisters, we combat professionals must unite and boycott Lin Yu together. Especially those equipment he sells. Don't buy any of them. Lin Yu can summon more angels with gold coins. This is aiding the enemy, and will make our combat professionals die faster and more miserably. If Lin Yu has a million-scale angel army, not to mention the combat professionals in the Dark Forest, the combat professionals in the other 7 major areas will also die. So, we must resist Lin Yu. That's right. We must not let Lin Yu develop. As long as we can suppress Lin Yu's development speed and prevent his angel army from expanding, we can defeat him and destroy his territory in the future. Agree +1. I have decided that I will never buy Lin Yu's equipment again. Buying Lin Yu's equipment is equivalent to cutting off our own retreat, which is no different from paying him to kill us. Only a fool would do such a thing. That makes sense. This morning I spent 400 gold coins to buy a level 5 equipment from Lin Yu. When I think of him using my gold coins to summon powerful angels, and then ordering the angels to slaughter us combat professionals, I regret it so much that I want to vomit blood. This isn't direct murder. Anyone who has bought Lin Yu's equipment before should blame themselves for this. It's okay. I won't buy it in the future. What else to buy? Even if Lin Yu gave me the equipment now, I wouldn't take it. If he gave it to me, I would still take it. That's right. I'd rather take it than not. Compared to the angry chat channel on the island, the Great Alliance channel, which gathers a large number of Alliance lords and top lords, is cheering at this time. Since Lin Yu's rise to the present, this is the first time I feel so happy. Lin Yu is now deserted by everyone. After this incident, basically no combat professional will go to Lin Yu again. Especially offline. Who knows if they will be killed by Lin Yu's angels. If I were one of those combat professionals, I wouldn't dare to get close to Lin Yu's territory. Ha ha ha. In fact, combat professionals at this stage are completely useless. But the most important thing is that we have stopped Lin Yu from selling equipment and collecting gold coins from those combat professionals. Without gold coins, Lin Yu will not be able to summon angels on a large scale. This is a great opportunity for us to seize the opportunity. Lord Gold Behemoth, you are really awesome. You can even come up with such a sinister plan. In reality, you are definitely a sinister villain. Get lost. Isn't it for everyone? Also, that woman Xia Qingyu should thank me. My plan has relieved her of so much pressure. I came up with a plan and asked people to spread rumors. She, on the other hand, just pretended not to know about this. Okay, Lord Behemoth, don't be angry. We must now face the outside world in unison. Speaking of which, I am very curious about one thing. Has Lin Yu's angel ever killed a combat professional? No one knows. Whether he has killed someone before or not, he has killed someone now. I believe Lin Yu must be having a headache now. Chapter 153. At this moment, looking at the chaotic island chat channel, more than 100 combat professionals gathered hundreds of meters away from the troll tribe. All of them felt cold in their hearts. What those who broke the news said was too scary. It's as if it's true. Someone even did a statistics, claiming that Lin Yu's angels have killed thousands of combat professionals. This is actually not a lot. There are millions of combat professionals in the Dark Forest, and this number is not even a fraction of them. It's not even a fraction of them. I don't want to be killed by those angels. What should we do now? What should we do? Of course, retreat. The angels in the tribe are all medium and high levels, and there are even king-level angels among them. And we are generally level 2, and the highest is no more than level 3. It's easier for those angels to kill us than to kill chickens. If we don't leave, are we going to stay here and wait for death? They wanted to gamble before, but now they don't even dare to gamble. Without any hesitation, dozens of combat professionals in this temporary team stood up and retreated in the direction away from the forest troll tribe. The members of the remaining 2 professional teams looked at each other. What are you looking at? Let's go too. Soon, the 2 professional teams also withdrew. They didn't even have the idea of hiding and waiting for the Angel Legion to withdraw before entering the forest troll tribe to make some money. According to the chat channel on the island, Lin Yu's angels kill anyone they see and do not accept surrender. Once they are discovered by the Angel Legion, they are dead. Lin Yu is a ruthless man. He is ruthless, but it is unwise for him to offend our combat professional alliance. Although our level is low, we have tens of millions of people. When we grow up, even if he has millions of angels, he will not be able to defend his territory. Sooner or later, our combat professional alliance will destroy his territory. Lin Yu, don't even think about becoming the island master. I think it will be difficult for Lin Yu to develop quickly now. In the chat channel on the island, almost all professionals have expressed their desire to boycott Lin Yu and stop buying his equipment. It is impossible for Lin Yu to rely on equipment to recruit angels on a large scale. A professional sneered, "This is the price of being enemies with us combat professionals." Amidst the discussion, the figures of more than 100 professionals quickly disappeared in the dense jungle. At the same time, with Lin Yu's territory as the center, within a radius of nearly 100 kilometers, a large number of combat professional teams can be seen evacuating simultaneously. Before, they wanted to rely on Lin Yu as a big tree to achieve rapid growth. Now, they have all given up. In their opinion, unless Lin Yu can speak publicly in the island chat channel and prove his innocence, otherwise, they will never set foot in this area again. I originally thought that as long as we gathered enough combat professionals, Lin Yu would not dare to do anything to us. I didn't expect that Lin Yu would not play by the rules. We haven't even gathered yet, and a large number of combat professionals have been killed by his angels. This is too cruel. Stop talking, let's go. Lin Yu is not the only Lord Professional in the Dark Forest. Compared to Lin Yu, other Lord Professionals are very happy to accept us. After all, we can clean up the wild monsters around for those Lord Professionals. If you don't want me here, there will be other places for me. That's right. Instantly, thousands of combat professionals retreated. They didn't even care about hunting wild monsters. They just wanted to get away from this area as soon as possible, and the farther away the better. This side of the forest troll tribe. The battlefield has been cleaned up. The various resources stored by the tribe have also been collected. Wait for the 8-winged angel Angelia to come and collect them. At this time, a 4-winged dark angel came to the 6-winged angel Pamela and reported respectfully, "Sir, an angel just found a group of combat professionals, and they are quickly fleeing to the distant jungle. If we chase them now, we will be gone in a moment." The flying speed of angels is very terrifying. Take dragons for example. Most dragons of the same level cannot catch up with angels in terms of speed. Only some special dragons can match them. For example, rare dragons that master the power of time or space. For those common 2nd and 3rd level combat professionals, it is easy for angels to catch up with them. You lead a team of angels and go over to deal with them. The 6-winged angel Pamela gave the order with an indifferent expression. "Yes, Lord Pamela." The 4-winged dark angel obeyed the order respectfully and was about to retreat. Wait a minute. At this time, the angel of punishment Caroline flew over with an angel sword as wide as a sword and shield, and said, "Will it be inappropriate to purify those combat professionals? Punishment angels hate evil. But at the same time, they are fair, compassionate, and kind. Generally, they will not take the initiative to execute creatures in non-evil camps." "What's wrong with that?" 6-winged angel Pamela said lightly. "Those combat professionals have no faith and are not loyal. Leaving them will waste the resources of this world. It is better to give them a chance for redemption as soon as possible," Punishment Angel Caroline said. "But after all, they come from the same alien world as my lord." "Caroline, do you have any illusions?" Pamela interrupted the Punishment Angel and said, "The Lord of Holy Light is the supreme creator of our angel family. What does he have to do with those humans and other worlds? On the road of our angel family to conquer in all worlds, all creatures who refuse to embrace the holy light and refuse to bow their heads to my lord are enemies. Only by believing in my lord can you get eternal life. And Lady Angelica has already consulted the great Lord of Holy Light on the relevant matters. There is one more thing." The 6-winged angel of power Pamela looked at Caroline with a very dissatisfied look. "You must remember your identity. You are a special angel. Leave the war to the angels of our orthodox faction. You just need to follow our footsteps, and you don't have to worry about the rest." Hearing this, the angel of punishment Caroline was not angry. If it was the fallen angel Gladys, even if she was not strong enough, she would cut it with a sword. But now, she is facing Pamela. Caroline said no more, nodded and said, "You are the angel of power, you have the final say. Archangels of power, archangels, seraphim, war command angels. In charge of all war matters. Under no special circumstances. All angels, including special angels, must obey the orders of these 3 types of angels. This is the war oracle of the angel family." At this time, the 4-winged dark angel cast his eyes on Pamela. Pamela said indifferently, "Do your thing." "So, that group of combat professionals still have to be killed." Caroline's words did not change Pamela's decision. Orthodox faction angels who are good at war and conquest are indifferent and arrogant when facing any race, and regard them as ants. Only in front of Lin Yu will they be obedient. "Yes, Master Pamela." The 4-winged dark angel retreated respectfully. Soon, a reorganized angel team flew out of the forest troll tribe. About 10 minutes later, they returned with angel swords burning with golden flames, and flew into the sky with the assembled angel army. Only in the distant jungle, a cloud of flying ash was floating. Chapter 154. The battle was over, and the battle was over. Here in the territory, Lin Yu was also browsing the chat channel on the island. Looking at the countless professionals who accused and denounced him in the channel, his expression was very calm. Even when the professionals were discussing to boycott him and collectively not buy his equipment, the expression on his face did not change much. He did not stand up to refute. Because his angel did kill a lot of combat professionals. Just now, he also received a special information tip that an angel killed a combat professional named XXX and exploded a piece of equipment. So, the information in the chat channel was true. But what made him dissatisfied was someone in the channel was exaggerating, claiming that thousands of combat professionals had died at the hands of his angels. Lin Yu had specially communicated with a group of Legion leaders about this matter. Finally, it was learned that the total number of combat professionals killed by various angel legions was only a few hundred. How could there be thousands? In addition, there were also professionals who said that they saw his angels not only kill a group of combat professionals, but also attract a large number of wild monsters to eat the bodies of combat professionals. Although they are angels, their actions are more cruel and evil than demons. This is pure slander. After killing people, his angels will only drop a ball of holy flame to burn those useless corpses into ashes, and it is impossible to attract monsters to eat them. What's more, any wild monster that encounters his angels will die. Where is the chance to eat the corpses? The most important thing is, I saw his angels committing crimes with my own eyes, and they were able to escape by luck. And there was more than one person who escaped. Many professional teams have living people who have escaped by chance, and then gathered together on the island chat channel to expose the evil deeds of the angels. Is this mocking the angel's sword for not being sharp enough? Or is it insulting the IQ of him, the Lord of Holy Light? It seems that someone is deliberately spreading rumors behind the scenes, wanting to make me the target of public criticism, then delay my development speed. Lin Yu looked at the constantly refreshing information in the island chat channel. Almost all the professionals were denouncing him and standing on the opposite side of him. If anyone has a doubtful attitude, immediately, they will be besieged by countless professionals and quickly drowned in the crowd. Although my angel did kill some combat professionals, but those who hide and manipulate in the dark also make me very unhappy. After thinking for a while, Lin Yu sent a message to the island chat channel. This is also the first message he has sent in the island chat channel so far. To all professionals on the island, I plan to conquer the Dark Forest within 20 days. In this extraordinary war, only the fittest will survive, and only elite warriors have the chance to survive. After I rule the Dark Forest, I will establish a kingdom. I allow the lords and combat professionals who survived this war to pay 70% of their daily harvest as a ticket to enter the country, become citizens of my kingdom, and serve me. In addition, I have written down the names of those professionals who spread rumors just now. No matter which area you are in, no matter who is backing you up, my army of angels will soon appear in front of you. You and those instigators hiding in the dark can start praying. The chat channel on the island was dead silent. After Lin Yu sent this message, the chat channel seemed to be frozen in time, and no new messages appeared. All the professionals were attracted by Lin Yu's message. Soon, the expressions on their faces solidified. There were shock and disbelief. There were also fear and disbelief. Of course, some people showed mockery. They thought Lin Yu was bragging. He wanted to rule the Dark Forest that stretched for thousands of kilometers in 20 days and to establish a kingdom. He was just bragging. After all, many professionals knew there were 4 super local forces in the Dark Forest. And among these local forces, in addition to a large number of extraordinary and holy strongmen, there were also very likely to be demigod-level strongmen. Is this something that a lord professional at this stage can defeat? Not to mention 20 days, even if it took 2 months, I'm afraid no one can do it. You know, the first batch of veteran professionals who came to other floating islands took a whole year and still haven't conquered the floating island world they are in. And the professionals on this floating island have only been here for a few days. It's not an exaggeration to say that the game has just been launched. In this case, Lin Yu wants to conquer the Dark Forest in the next 20 days. How is this possible? This floating island has a total of 8 major areas. Could it be that Lin Yu is still planning to conquer the entire floating island in 160 days, which is about 5 months, and become the master of an island? This is simply a joke. At this moment, no one is willing to believe what Lin Yu said. Everyone thinks that it is completely impossible to conquer the Dark Forest within 20 days. However, no one stood up to refute. One is to worry that Lin Yu will also remember it. The second is to think, where does Lin Yu get such confidence? After all, if you speak out in front of tens of millions of professionals and fail, you will lose face. For a big man like Lin Yu, face and reputation are the most important. How dare you brag like this without confidence? Aren't you afraid of social death? Until a long time passed. It seemed that people thought Lin Yu had left the chat channel, and then they gradually sent messages. The first message was that Big Boss Lin Yu was invincible. Then followed a series of 666, confirmed, Big Boss Lin Yu's troops are indeed angels. Everything before was our speculation, but now Big Boss Lin Yu admitted it himself, and from the above information, it can be inferred that the angels under Lin Yu did kill some combat professionals, but not as exaggerated as the revelations. I knew it was fake news. It's not fake news, right? Lin Yu's angel killed a combat professional. This is a fact. It's just that the person who broke the news exaggerated it a little. In short, someone deliberately made trouble behind the scenes. Those professionals who broke the news all receive benefits from certain people. I suspect that the instigator behind this incident is the leader of our King's Hall, the Golden Behemoth Lord, who was badly cheated by Lin Yu in the warehouse blueprint incident before, and he is still paying off his debts. Looking at the entire floating island, the person who hates Lin Yu the most is him. And not long ago, he claimed in the Alliance channel that he would teach Lin Yu a hard lesson, so I concluded that this matter was done by him. By the way, you betrayed your leader so cleanly? Aren't you afraid of being condemned by your conscience? Condemn what? I don't want to stay in this broken alliance. Awesome. All of a sudden, a large number of professionals withdrew from the Alliance Hall of Kings. Some felt that it was too embarrassing to stay. Some were worried about being implicated by the Golden Behemoth Lord. If the Golden Behemoth Lord was really the mastermind, Lin Yu would definitely settle accounts with him. At that time, the Alliance members of the Hall of Kings, who were members of the Hall of Kings, might also be severely cut by Lin Yu. I just want to say that the combat professionals of the Dark Forest, including the Lords, should escape as soon as possible. My intuition tells me that Lin Yu will make a big move soon. You really have to escape quickly. Lin Yu said that in extraordinary wars, the fittest survive. What this sentence means is that if you are unlucky enough to be encountered by his angel army, then it would be a waste of death. His angels will not show mercy. However, Lin Yu did not kill them all. As long as they can survive this war, the professionals who survive will have the opportunity to join his kingdom, become his people, and serve him. Fuck. According to you, I still have to thank Lin Yu for not killing me. I do have to thank him. By the way, Lin Yu's entry conditions are too harsh. We have to hand over 70% of our daily gains. Doesn't that mean that if we get 10 gold coins every day, we can only keep 3? Let me ask you, which kingdom has such high taxes? Aren't you afraid of the people rebelling? I think at 20% tax is enough. What are you talking about? It's good enough to save your life, and you still despise it? I'll kill you when I get back. Just at this moment, the professional who had previously guaranteed his integrity suddenly sent a series of explosive messages in the chat channel at, "This matter has nothing to do with us. Golden Behemoth the Lord is the mastermind. We are members of his core team and were threatened by him. It was the Golden Behemoth Lord who forced us to spread rumors in the chat channel, and it was also him who asked us to encourage everyone not to buy the boss's equipment. We are also victims." Soon, more professionals stood up. They were all whistleblowers of this incident, and all of them pointed the target of accusation at the Golden Behemoth Lord. Because they were afraid that Lin Yu would really remember it. Find them to settle accounts later. As for whether the Golden Behemoth Lord would hate them, they were not very afraid. After all, compared with Lin Yu, the danger value of the Golden Behemoth Lord was really not high. So, they decisively sold the Golden Behemoth Lord. Chapter 155. The island chat channel was in a state of excitement. Countless professionals began to accuse and scold the Golden Behemoth Lord. Perhaps it was because they felt deceived. Or perhaps it was because they were frightened by Lin Yu's mad words. Although many professionals believed that it was unrealistic for Lin Yu to conquer the Dark Forest in the next 20 days. But what if he succeeded? Then they would not only offend a super top lord with an angel army, but also a king who ruled a large region. In comparison, there would be no pressure to transfer the firepower to the Golden Behemoth Lord. According to incomplete statistics, more than 40 lords with top-level arms have emerged on the island. The Golden Behemoth Lord was just one of them. This time, the Golden Behemoth Lord manipulated public opinion behind the scenes and offended Lin Yu to death. The final outcome was likely to be killed by Lin Yu, so they were not afraid at all. They all used the way of denouncing the Golden Behemoth Lord to vent all kinds of negative emotions in their hearts. In the blink of an eye, the Golden Behemoth Lord became a rat crossing the street. At the same time, more and more professionals withdrew from the Alliance Hall of Kings. A few days ago, Hall of Kings, was still the alliance with the largest number of professionals on the island, known as the strongest professional alliance, unrivaled and unparalleled. Today, even the position of the second alliance can no longer be maintained. The number of members dropped down. However, in just 1 hour, the number of professionals who withdrew from the alliance reached more than 40,000. The number of remaining alliance members is less than 1/5 of the peak period. If the major alliances are ranked by the number of people, then the ranking of Hall of Kings has already fallen behind the 5 major alliances. And as time goes by, a large number of alliance members continue to withdraw from the alliance. After this incident, the Hall of Kings is completely dead. At this moment, the Grand Alliance channel is dead silent. The previous cheers and excitement are no longer visible. All that is left is silence. The Alliance Lords and top lords in the channel did not expect Lin Yu's counterattack to come so quickly. And just a short speech turned the whole situation around. Let countless professionals point the finger at the Golden Behemoth Lord. Lin Yu's move is brilliant, completely grasped the fear of those professionals for the Angel Legion. It is true that his Angel Legion has killed combat professionals, but now no professional pays attention to this issue. Extraordinary war, survival of the fittest. This sentence leaves us no reason to refute. How to refute? Unless you stand up and say that you will not kill combat professionals now or in the future. But is this possible? Once the island-grabbing war begins, the civil war between our professionals will break out in full swing. Everyone here will inevitably have the blood of hostile professionals on their hands. It's just that Lin Yu's development speed is too fast, and this process has been brought forward. In fact, even if the island-grabbing war has not yet arrived, conflicts will break out between professionals. Especially when the professional teams meet in the wild world. It is easy to cause a bloody fight. The reason is interest and human heart. Lin Yu's Angel Army has only killed a few hundred combat professionals in total, which is actually nothing compared to the people killed by other professionals on the island. So, never doubt the dark side of human nature. Lin Yu wants to establish a kingdom in the future and take those elite professionals who survived as citizens, and he must also impose many restrictions. First of all, it is loyalty. The best way is to borrow the power of the rules of the floating island and let those elite professionals sign a loyalty contract. Anyone who betrays his kingdom will be killed by the power of the rules of the floating island. Only in this way can the stability of the kingdom be guaranteed. If there are no restrictions in this regard, Lin Yu will naturally not let those elite professionals join his kingdom. Lord Golden Behemoth, you have lost a lot this time, stealing a chicken but losing a rice bowl. I said this trick would definitely not work. Now it's good. Not only did it not hit Lin Yu, but it also created a perfect excuse for him. Next, even if he kills a large number of combat professionals, the industry, I am afraid there will be no more trouble. This is shooting oneself in the foot. Damn it. How dare you say such sarcastic remarks here? Why did you cheer just now and say that my plan is brilliant? Now you start to mock me. Not mocking you really can't beat Lin Yu. Excuse me, brothers, I'm going to withdraw first? What are you going to withdraw? There is no other way. The culprit behind the incident is not just the Golden Behemoth Lord, you are also involved. I don't want to be implicated by you. Fuck. What do you mean by this? What do you mean? I have disliked you for a long time. You scold me for being Lin Yu's lackey all day long. Now I will be your lackey for you to see. I will give your information to Lin Yu later, and he will kill you in the future. The next second, an official message appeared. The village chief of Guangming quit the channel. Fuck. I knew this bitch was unreliable. Damn, who else is going to tell Lin Yu about this? Come out. Especially those lords of the light camp. If you want to retreat, retreat quickly. Don't backstab me. Calm down. He is him, we are us. That's right, we lords of the light camp are mortal enemies with Lin Yu. Really? Why do I feel that you want to stay and be traitors? How is it possible? My troops are the famous knights of the Temple of Light. Being a traitor is an insult to me. Agree. My cardinal will not allow me to betray the organization. I don't quite believe what you say. I swear to Her Majesty the Goddess of Light that every word I say comes from the heart. Me too. Let's not talk about other things. Let's just say that the Golden Behemoth Lord is now on the verge of collapse. He doesn't even dare to open the Alliance channel of Hall of Kings. Because in addition to a lot of scolding him in the channel, there are also information prompts of countless professionals quitting the Alliance. He felt that he had suffered 100 times the damage. The Golden Behemoth Lord couldn't figure it out. It was Lin Yu's angels who were hunting those combat professionals, But why he was besieged by countless professionals in the end. He was very hurt and unwilling. It doesn't matter if the alliance is dead. I am a top lord. And I still have the golden behemoth, the young man comforted himself over and over again. But in the end, the more he comforted himself, the more upset he became. Because he found that his golden behemoth was no match for Lin Yu's angels. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156. The battle was over, and the battle was over. Here in the territory, Lin Yu no longer paid attention to the disturbance on the island chat channel. In fact, even if tens of millions of combat professionals on the island, including those lords, really united to resist him, they could not limit his development speed. Because his army has expanded. Not to mention angels, just dark elves can breed a full 1,000 every day. Coupled with the speed at which angels spread their faith, the number of his troops is increasing every day. Not long ago, when the angel army captured the forest troll tribe, they surrendered more than 10,000 forest troll believers to him, all of whom were high-level troops. It is impossible to limit his development. Another point is that his Angel City will be completed in 8 days. At that time, his territory will soar into the sky. First destroy the 4 local superpowers, and then conquer the entire Dark Forest and establish a kingdom. Who can limit him? Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, it was afternoon. After Lin Yu dealt with the affairs of the territory, he returned to the bedroom to sleep as usual. The Lord profession is so leisurely. There are soldiers under his command hunting in the wild world, and they can increase their levels even when lying down to sleep. And just when Lin Yu was sleeping soundly, his secretary came to a mountain nearly 1,000 meters high. Here are continuous mountains and ancient trees, just like a wild world. And it is more than 100 kilometers away from Lin Yu's territory. Finally found a holy level monster, not easy. The elegant figure stood 1,000 meters high. The golden eyes looked down at the mountain below. Behind her were 3 pairs of snow-white angel wings and a pair of huge flowing wings. The divine light emanating from them made Angelica look extremely noble. Her gaze seemed to be able to traverse space and all obstacles. She saw the huge monster sleeping in the belly of the mountain. In the jungles around the mountain, there were also a large number of wild monsters, tens of thousands of them. 7 extraordinary beasts, more than 100 king-level monsters. It's a good place for hunting. As she spoke, Angelica waved her right hand, pouring out a brilliant golden light. In the golden light, there were 10 huge light gates. This was originally one of the 3 core divine arts of the 6 winged angels, the Holy Light Gate. As the light gate opened, behind each light gate, dense angels flew out. A light gate. A small angel army with full strength. In the blink of an eye, 10 angel armies appeared in the sky, led by 10 6-winged angels, with a total of more than 5,000 angels. Lady Angelia, after the army arrived, the 6-winged angels hurried forward to salute. Angelia nodded lightly and said, "After I kill the holy beast, you will lead the army to clear the wild monsters in this area." Yes, the 6-winged angels obeyed the order respectfully. Then they returned to their respective armies and waited for the war to begin. Angelia came to the sky above the mountain. However, she did not act immediately, but stretched out her slender right hand and grabbed the translucent ball of light from the void. The ball of light fell. It expanded into a huge barrier on the way. It instantly covered an area of 20 kilometers in radius. In the nearby forests, tens of thousands of wild monsters were all sealed inside. This is also an angel magic. It is similar to the war shackles of the 6-winged angel, but not. Because its sealing power is stronger. Even creatures that control the power of space find it difficult to pass through this barrier. Angelica's goal is to trap all the wild monsters in this area, so as not to scare them away in the subsequent battles, which would be troublesome to chase and kill. At this time several deafening roars came from the forest. It was the 7 extraordinary beasts, who discovered Angelica. "You are looking for death by trespassing into Lord Long's territory," a giant bear tens of meters tall spoke in human language and roared angrily. Then, it flew into the sky like a heavy artillery shell and killed Angelica directly. This is a big earth demon bear. The level has reached the late extraordinary stage. It is also the most powerful among the 7 magic beasts. Magic beasts in the extraordinary realm can not only fly, but also speak human language. If they reach the semi-god realm, they can transform into human form. Facing the powerful attack of the earth demon bear, Angelica just looked at it with an indifferent expression, then grabbed an angel sword burning with golden flames from the void, and slashed at the earth demon bear from a distance of hundreds of meters. With a sound of chi, a dazzling sword light burst out. The speed was so fast that the earth demon bear could not dodge at all. It instinctively released a magic power in its body and condensed a yellowish earth armor to wrap its body. The next moment, the sword light came. It instantly cut through its magic armor. Then it was its body. Along with the blood spraying out, this late-stage extraordinary earth demon bear was directly cut in half by the sword light. The broken corpse fell from the sky like a kite with a broken string. It fell heavily in the forest. It shot countless wild monsters. The other 6 extraordinary beasts saw this scene and their eyes widened. This invader killed their boss in a second with just one sword. What kind of terrifying strength is this? He is obviously in the extraordinary realm, but he showed the terrible power of the saint level. Killing the extraordinary is like killing chickens and dogs. It's simply unbelievable. They stood in the sky above the forest, their eyes fell on Angelica, and the huge body of the beast trembled with fear. The enemy is too strong, we are not the opponent, it takes Lord Long to take action personally to solve her, I think Lord Long will not blame us. After a brief exchange, the 6 extraordinary beasts retreated very confidently. And the speed of escape is getting faster and faster. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared into the distant jungle. Angela ignored them, as the extraordinary monsters were not her target. She went straight to the top of the mountain. Holding the angel sword with a blazing holy flame, she thrust it downward with the tip of the sword pointed downward. In an instant, a ray of sword light pierced through the mountain that was 1,000 meters high. It reached the center of the mountain. Almost at the same time, an angry roar sounded. In addition to the rage that soared into the sky, the sound also gave people a very painful feeling, as if wailing. A few seconds later, the mountain began to shake. Countless rocks rolled down from the mountain, making a rumbling sound. The scene was like an earthquake. Then, the mountain that was 1,000 meters high suddenly collapsed, and the real landslide occurred. Then, a huge monster flew out of it. Take a closer look. It was a giant dragon. The dragon was about 100 meters long, and its entire body was covered with emerald-like scales. It had 4 legs and 2 wings. Its wingspan was over 100 meters, larger than the dragon's body. It stood on the ruins of the rubble, looking up and roaring, but what came out of its mouth and nose was not dragon breath, but green mist. This mist was extremely poisonous. This was a pure-blooded green dragon, one of the 5-colored evil dragons, also known as the poisonous dragon. Who is disturbing the slumber of Lord Dragon? The green dragon spread its huge wings, and was extremely angry. Soon, it locked onto Angelica standing high in the sky, and the 10 angel legions gathered in a farther area. Winged people? No, they don't look like them. After a moment, the green dragon seemed to recall something. Its ferocious expression froze instantly, and it stared at Angelica, who was shrouded in the sacred light, and said in horror, "You are. This is impossible. You disappeared tens of millions of years ago." Chapter 157. The green dragon recognized Angelica's identity. It pursued ancient memories. It quickly determined that Angelica was an angel. And standing in the distant sky was the legendary angel army. Unlike the local elves and grey dwarves who had never seen the world, when they first saw the angels, they called them luminous winged people. The reason why they could recognize them. It was because the dragon clan had a bloodline inheritance. In this bloodline inheritance, there was a lot of ancient information. Just like the mother tree of the dark elf tribe, it inherited ancient memories, so the spirit of the mother tree of the elves recognized the angels at a glance and was shocked. It turned out to be you. This shouldn't be the case. You disappeared long ago. Even if you were born, you should be in the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds. How can a small floating island world accommodate your angels? The green dragon was horrified. Its huge body retreated in panic. Although its level was as high as the middle stage of the saint rank, it was still shocked by Angelica and had the urge to turn around and run away. Angelica did not answer the green dragon's question. She looked down at the green dragon with an indifferent expression, and said with some regret, "It's a pity that it is a poisonous dragon, and I also want to borrow your hut to pave the way for me to step into the holy steps, so you can only die." "Wait a minute," the green dragon shouted, Our dragon clan and your angel clan are not hostile camps. If you want to purify, you should purify the giants in the west. Their ancestors, the Titans, are your enemies. Angelia held the angel sword and said indifferently, humble creatures in the lower world dare to teach me how to do things. As soon as the voice fell, her figure disappeared out of thin air. Damn angel, as expected, it is as arrogant and unreasonable as the legend, the green dragon cursed. At the same time, a dazzling green light emerged from its body. In the blink of an eye, it enveloped a radius of thousands of meters, forming a huge green light area. This green light area is its domain world. The attributes are highly toxic and entangled. It can be seen that in its domain world, countless green vines extend from the ground, and some vines even take root in the void. These vines twist and turn like giant pythons. They are not only tough and difficult to cut, but also covered with dense spikes on the surface. All the spikes are poisonous. The creatures of the extraordinary realm will die if touched. This is the counterattack from the green dragon. It actually wants to escape, but it finds that this area has been covered by a barrier. It is difficult to escape without killing the 8-winged angel in front of it. Even if it is a legendary angel, so what? I am in the middle stage of the saint rank, and she is in the late stage of the extraordinary. I still have hope of winning. While thinking, the green dragon flapped its huge dragon wings and flew high into the sky. It can be seen that there is a huge wound on its abdomen, and dragon blood has been flowing. Just now, when it was sleeping on its back in the dragon cave, it was hit by a sword from Angelica. If it hadn't reacted quickly and rolled 360 degrees on the spot, it would have been cut in two. Of course, this is not important. After the green dragon flew high into the sky, it immediately opened its ferocious mouth and spit dragon breath at Angelica, who is trapped in its territory. Spraying dragon breath is the signature skill of the dragon. As a famous poison dragon, its dragon breath can not only melt gold and iron, but also contains the most deadly toxin. Once the enemy is hit, even if he is not burned to death, he will be poisoned. With a bang, the hot dragon breath swept in like a torrent. It blew up a strand of golden hair beside Angelica's ear. However, Angelica did not dodge. It just shook the huge light wings behind it, releasing a dazzling aurora. In an instant, the dragon's breath disappeared. The green dragon also closed its ferocious mouth. It used its two short front paws to madly grab its mouth, but it couldn't open it. In the end, it could only stare at Angelica with a pair of horrified golden vertical pupils. Angelica held the angel sword. She came in the air and said in a cold voice, "The Supreme Creator once said that as long as the faith is firm and pious enough, external forces cannot harm his believers." As the voice fell, the poisonous fog in the field quickly retreated. Those vines that looked like giant pythons also shrank back frantically as if frightened. In the blink of an eye, there was not a single vine left in the domain. Seeing this scene, the green dragon was even more terrified. However, it did not give up, and whimpered a few times. The next moment, the domain shook and the earth cracked. Giant trees emerged one by one. Then, these giant trees turned into poisonous tree people tens of meters high at a speed visible to the naked eye, each of which had a powerful combat power of the late extraordinary stage. This is not the power of the domain. It is dragon language magic. Fortunately, there is no requirement to chant the spell in the conditions of dragon language magic. Otherwise, the green dragon would not be able to release dragon language magic now. Arrogant angel, die! A dozen poisonous tree people roared and rushed towards Angelica. Some stretched out tentacle-like branches, trying to wrap around Angelica. Some threw out sharp wooden thorns. Others were swinging giant wooden sticks. In short, they used all kinds of martial arts, and none of them were repeated. Pointless resistance. Angelica had a cold expression, and slashed the angel sword in her hand horizontally. Suddenly, dense sword lights flew out. Bang 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 bang. All the wooden thorns, tentacles, giant wooden sticks, and their owners were instantly cut into pieces by the sword lights. Woo! The green dragon widened his eyes. The power of the domain was destroyed by a word. The dragon's breath could not hurt the enemy's hair. The helper summoned by the dragon language magic was killed instantly as soon as he appeared. How can such an enemy be defeated? So, it turned around and ran without thinking. Now it is fear that has occupied its brain. The conditioned reflex wants to escape. So much so that it even selectively forgot that this area was covered by the barrier. As expected, it was soon caught up by Angelica. The beautiful figure appeared on the head of the green dragon as if it had teleported. The angel sword burning with golden flames pressed against the head of the green dragon. It was so scared that it shook its head desperately. It was not trying to throw Angelica off, but begging for mercy. It could not speak now, and could only vibrate its spiritual power to convey the message, "Dear angel, please don't kill me, I surrender. As long as you let me go, I am willing to do anything you ask me to do." As a giant dragon abandoned in the floating island world and living alone, it does not need to protect the glory and unity of the dragon clan. It just wants to survive now. It is willing to be a mount. However, the answer it received was an angel sword. The angel sword in Angelia's hand was like cutting tofu, easily breaking the dragon scales of the green dragon and the dragon skull that was said to be indestructible. Then, the sword like carried by the sword instantly crushed the brain tissue of the green dragon. A giant dragon in the middle stage of the holy rank fell. The dragon body, which was nearly 100 meters long, fell from the sky and hit the ground heavily, raising dust all over the sky. A moment later, a gray dragon shadow floated out of the dust. That was the soul of the green dragon. It wanted to slip away in a sneaky way. When the gray land dwarf tribe was captured, the soul of the old patriarch had provoked and threatened Yida and Sally, but was purified by the holy flames of the two angels. Now, the soul of the green dragon left the body. Its first reaction was to escape, because it knew how terrible the legendary angels were. Purifying the soul was one of the angel's specialties. But soon, it was blocked by the barrier while escaping. What kind of barrier is this? It can even seal the soul. The soul of the green dragon was terrified. It turned its head and saw Angelica standing high in the sky, shrouded in a brilliant golden light, and the aura emanating from her body also soared rapidly. In a blink of an eye, the strength of her aura reached the level of the saint rank. After hunting for a whole day, she killed more than a dozen extraordinary monsters and a large number of king-level wild monsters. Now, she killed another giant dragon in the middle stage of the saint rank. Angelica's breakthrough was natural. Relatively speaking, the soul of the green dragon was even more desperate. And soon, it also ushered in its end, and was collected by Angelica into the soul light ball. Its body was also taken away by Angelica. Let's start. As Angelica's cold voice sounded, the 10 angel armies that had been assembled long ago rushed into the barrier in a mighty force and began to wipe out tens of thousands of wild monsters in the area, including the 6 trembling extraordinary warcraft. The dragon master they served was not able to defeat the enemy. Now, it is their turn. Chapter 158. The battle was won, and the battle was over. 10 angel legions poured into the barrier. Each legion was scattered in different areas. It was further divided into a reorganized angel team, led by the team leader, the 4-winged angel. Each team and legion cooperated with each other, clearing the wild monsters in the barrier in an orderly manner. There are a lot of wild monsters in this area. After all, it is organized. Tens of thousands of wild monsters are directly led by the 7 extraordinary beasts. And these extraordinary beasts are loyal to the green dragon of the holy level. Here, it is like a monster kingdom. In terms of both scale and strength, they are far greater than those local tribes that were conquered by the Angel Legion. However, such a force does not pose much threat to the Angel Legion. The 10 fully staffed Angel Legions are enough to clean up the tens of thousands of wild monsters. I believe this will be a great harvest. With so many wild monsters, the meat alone is an astonishing number. In addition, there are equipment, gold coins, and blueprints that have exploded. The harvest is definitely overwhelming. At this moment, in the other area, near the edge of the barrier, the remaining 6 extraordinary beasts were also surrounded. And the ones who surrounded them were the 10 6-winged angel legion leaders who commanded the 10 angel legions. Their levels are all king level. The highest is only the late king level. But it is still no problem to surround and kill a few extraordinary beasts. Above this battlefield, the beautiful and elegant figure of Angelia stood. She has been promoted to the saint level, and killing extraordinary monsters is as easy as killing an ant. But the experience reward will not be too much. So she did not participate in the battle. After watching for a while, Angelica came to the vicinity of the ruins of the mountain. With a light wave of her right hand, suddenly, countless large and small stones flew away, revealing a huge underground cave. This is the Dragon Cave, where the green dragon sleeps. Looking around, there are a large number of dazzling gems piled up in the cave: red, orange, yellow, green. There are gems of various colors, and the number is at least more than 100,000. Unfortunately, these are all decorative items. They are not magic gems that can be inlaid on equipment. Sure enough, the dragon clan likes this kind of shiny things. Even if there is no use value, it is their favorite. After a while, Angelica found a pile of magic cores in the cave, which were casually discarded by the green dragon in the corner of the cave, obviously without paying attention. But in fact, these magic cores are good things. The value of a magic core is equal to all the gems. Because the magic core contains huge energy, which can be used to supply the output of the magic cannon. There are more than 40 magic cores in the cave, all of which were collected by Angelica into the belt of the Skeleton King. This is the treasure of the dragon. As for those gems, Angelica did not even look at them. Then, she tore the void and left this place. After the war here is over, she will appear again, bring the bodies of those wild monsters back to the territory, and hand them over to the Lord of Holy Light. The next moment, Angelica's figure appeared dozens of kilometers away. This is teleportation. The speed is much faster than flying. Next, Angelica is going to continue to look for powerful monsters hidden in the mountains and forests and collect magic cores. The energy of the magic core can drive the City of Angels to fight. This is the task assigned to her by the Lord of Holy Light. Lord here. Lin Yu, who was sleeping soundly, was awakened by the huge energy that suddenly emerged from his body. Before he could react, his level was rising. In the blink of an eye, his level broke through from the middle of level 9 to the late level 9. However, this is not the end. Because the source energy that appeared in his body is still very huge. The level breakthrough just now only consumed a small part of the energy. Just when Lin Yu was mentally prepared to be promoted to a king-level professional, a message from Floating Island of 10,000 Worlds suddenly appeared in his mind. Congratulations, Lord Lin Yu, your reserve of source energy has reached the standard for promotion to a king-level professional. The number of king-level enemies killed by your troops exceeds 10. You are about to be promoted to the king level. What's going on, Lin Yu? Also, I didn't understand what Floating Island of 10,000 Worlds meant. The huge source of energy in his body suddenly became agitated, and tore his body violently. Skin, flesh, bones, cells. All around strengthening. No dead corners left. In this process, Lin Yu also felt an unprecedented pain. He clenched his teeth and endured the pain without crying out. Soon, he was sweating profusely, and his clothes were soaked with sweat. I don't know how long it took. Finally, the pain in his body began to ease. Another gentle energy spread throughout his body. Hell in front of him, heaven in the back. It was so cool. Promoted, Lin Yu exhaled heavily. Then he quickly checked his personal information panel. Lin Yu, profession, Lord, level, early king level, glory value, 4,600 points, reputation value, 22,500 points, territory, advanced village, unnamed, exclusive arms, angel, only, gold coins, 7,349. Early king level, Lin Yu grinned. This breakthrough was beyond his expectations. Lin Yu himself did not expect that his level would soar to the king level while he was sleeping. After all, before he went to sleep, his level was still in the middle of the 9th level. Before he woke up, his level had skyrocketed. This upgrade speed was even faster than riding a rocket. Lin Yu then checked the history record in the information prompt and found that while he was sleeping, his secretary killed a late-stage transcendent earth demon bear and then killed a mid-stage saint green dragon. In addition, a large number of high-level wild monsters were killed by the Angel Legion. The rich source energy rewards made his level soar. Speaking of which, just now, the floating island prompted that the number of king-level enemies killed by my troops exceeded 10. What does this mean? Is there a requirement to kill enemies to be promoted to the king level? Lin Yu was puzzled and asked, Floating Island of all worlds? Soon, the mother of the rules of the floating island gave an answer. The king level is the strongest among mortals, not ordinary professionals. If a lord professional wants to be promoted to the king level, he needs to kill at least 10 king level enemies. The same applies to promotion to the extraordinary and holy levels, only when you are promoted to demigods and gods. There is no requirement to kill enemies. You only need to comprehend the laws and condense the godhood. What about combat professionals? If a combat professional wants to be promoted, the minimum number of enemies killed is 3. The promotion of a branch of soldiers is limited only by its growth potential, so that's how it is. No wonder, Lin Yu suddenly had a sense of sudden enlightenment. He finally understood why those veteran professionals who had been developing for a whole year were generally still at the king level, an extraordinary level, and only a very small number of them entered the holy level. Su Dabanjiao has been developing for a year, but now he is only at the king level. The fundamental reason is here. Their level is stuck. Even with the power of the late 9th level, it is not an easy task to want a king level enemy, not to mention killing 3 combat professionals. Similarly, it is equally difficult to kill extraordinary enemies with the power of the late king level. After all, this is a cross-level battle. Without sufficient foundation, strong psychological quality, and extremely high combat awareness, it is difficult to succeed. If there is a slight accident, it will be a disaster. Lin Yu said to himself, in order to cultivate elite strongmen, the means of the floating island are really endless, it can be imagined. Any professional who can walk out of the floating island alive and enter the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds, they are definitely elites. Those who are not good enough have been eliminated at the king level, extraordinary level, and saint level. Chapter 159. The more you fight, the more you will lose. However, I don't have to worry about the number of kills. My angel army has begun to surround and kill the extraordinary beasts, whether it is Renee and Elena's hunting team, or Gladys and Sylvia, the 2 fallen angels. They have killed several extraordinary beasts today. Angelia has killed more extraordinary beasts. For now, I have already made up the number of kills to be promoted to the extraordinary. As long as the source energy reaches the maximum value, you can step into the extraordinary without any obstacles. This is the advantage of the Lord profession. No need to do it yourself, as long as the strength of the troops under your command is strong enough. It is easy to upgrade the level. Only those combat professionals need to consider the issue of if you don't succeed, you will die. In the blink of an eye, I have become a king-level professional, Lin Yu sighed inexplicably. A few days ago, he was still aiming to be promoted to senior professional and successfully release the senior magic, Fire Dragon technique. Now, he has stepped into the king level. Secondary magic such as Fire Dragon can be said to be easy to use. Even if it is 10 shots in a row, his body will not be weak anymore. At this time, Lin Yu seemed to think of something and raised his right hand. On his right wrist, there is a red mark. That is the symbol of a professional. It is also a channel to return to Blue Star. As long as the energy bar on the side reaches the full value, it can be activated and then teleported back to Blue Star. Strange, 2 days ago, my energy value had reached 99%. Why is it still 99 now? The number of monsters hunted in the territory in the past 2 days is many times higher than the total before. Can't fill up the last 1%? Lin Yu was puzzled by this. After thinking about it, he asked, Wanji Floating Island. Soon, the floating island gave a reply. The cross-border teleportation array collapsed and is currently under emergency repair. Before that, the energy bar of all professionals is capped at 99%, and teleportation is impossible. Hearing this, Lin Yu was immediately stunned. You, the Wanji Floating Island, the old mother of rules in the minds of countless professionals, actually broke the cross-border teleportation array? This is gone in an instant, okay? You are the supreme rule of a world, Lin Yu said in astonishment. How could the cross-border teleportation array managed by you suddenly collapse, after the question was thrown out? It took a long time for Wanji Floating Island to give a reply. Not long ago, a supreme creature forcibly crossed the border and accidentally collapsed the teleportation array leading to Blue Star. But Lord, don't worry. I have reached an agreement with this supreme being. He will not affect the normal development of this world. In addition, the cross-border teleportation array is also being repaired. The space-time channel to Blue Star will soon be reopened. Is there a supreme being forcibly crossing the border? Lin Yu took a deep breath and asked in a low voice, is it at the level of the goddess of light? He was really curious. Who is this supreme being? What is the purpose of descending to the world of the floating island? However, the floating island remained silent. Let Lin Yu continue to ask questions, and the 10,000 worlds floating island did not respond again. This is obviously asking him not to meddle in other people's business. Lin Yu finally shut up helplessly and comforted himself. Actually, it's better not to know. With my current strength, a supreme being who can cross the world rules and force his way into the floating island world is definitely not something I can afford to offend. It's better to have less trouble than more. Since the floating island rules have said it, a friendly agreement has been reached with a supreme being. Then he naturally doesn't have to worry about anything. Maybe soon, the Supreme Being will leave. After all, what treasures can a small floating island world have to attract a Supreme Being? Even if there are any treasures, they will leave soon after getting them. They won't stay here permanently. Thinking of this, Lin Yu threw away the doubts in his mind and temporarily pretended that nothing had happened. In the blink of an eye, time came to evening. Darkness quickly swept across the entire floating island world like a rising tide. The army corps under Lin Yu's command also returned at this time. But the scale has more than doubled. This is because when the angels attacked the local strongholds in the wild, they once again captured a large number of local intelligent creatures. And the number is much more than yesterday. Just the forest trolls alone, nearly 20,000 were captured. Other local intelligent creatures such as goblins, grey dwarves, etc., add up to more than 10,000. In total, the number of people under Lin Yu is almost 100,000. This is very scary. In addition, the more than 1,000 high-end wooden houses in the territory can't accommodate so many people. Even at night, the angels and dark elves will go to the spiritual fields to practice, and there is no room for them. It can be said that Lin Yu's current territory, not only the resources are bursting, but also the population is bursting. Fortunately, these local intelligent creatures have become his fanatical believers. Even if there is no house to live in and they sleep in the open air in the square, they will not have any complaints. If it were any other lord professional, there is no guarantee that they would be rebelled the next day. My lord, an elegant and beautiful figure walked into the lord's hall. It was the eight-winged angel Angelia. After taking out the wild monster corpses stored in a skeleton king belt, she came to see Lin Yu as soon as possible and handed over today's harvest to Lin Yu. It is worth mentioning that the wild monsters hunted today, apart from those that cannot be decomposed and eaten, the number has reached more than 100,000. All were piled up in the north of the territory, that is, the open space behind the dark elf mother tree, like a huge meat mountain. Just the corpses of these wild monsters can be decomposed into 1 or 2 million units of food. Enough for the territory's population to eat after the sudden increase. Yet, Lin Yu nodded, took the belt handed over by Angelia. As if sensing something, he suddenly showed a bright smile on his face and said, "Angelia, you gave me another surprise." He was referring to Angelia's promotion to the saint rank. She is worthy of being his secretary. She has the strongest strength and the fastest progress. Now, she has stepped into the saint rank and mastered the power of the domain. Angelia lowered her head slightly and said respectfully, "Everything comes from the Lord's favor. It is Angelia's honor to be praised by you." Lin Yu grinned. It must be said that angels always give him a feeling of dominating everything. Even if he is just a small king-level professional now, he also feels that he is very awesome. This feeling is wonderful, but it is also easy to make people indulge in it. Lin Yu feels that he is still far away from dominating everything and needs continuous efforts. Then, he put his spiritual consciousness into the belt space. And just when Lin Yu was counting the day's harvest, more than 1,000 kilometers away from his territory, a huge, magnificent ancient city was brightly lit. Countless huge bodies could be seen walking in the city. This was the capital of the giant kingdom. Chapter 160. The battle was a battle, and the battle was a battle. The giants are the rulers of the western area of the Dark Forest. To the north is the territory of the Bone Temple. To the south is the territory of the Naga Kingdom. To the west of the giants' royal city is a continuous mountain range of about hundreds of kilometers. Across the mountains is the endless Lenkel Prairie. In other words, as long as Lin Yu can conquer the giants, his army can not only clear other areas of the Dark Forest, but also enter the Lenkel Prairie and threaten the Beastman's royal court. Of course, this requires a large-scale army. The most important thing is, the size of the Angel Legion must be large enough. The number is too small, and it is difficult to conquer two regions at the same time. In the extraordinary world, the giant clan is actually a general term. Going down, it can be subdivided into many branches, such as the Cyclops in the underground world, the light giant who is good at the power of light, as well as the frost giant, rock giant, hill giant, mountain giant, cave giant, etc. These giants basically have the same ancestor, that is, the Titan. And the giant kingdom in the Dark Forest was established by the mountain giant. The average height of an adult mountain giant is about 15 meters. And the higher the level, the larger the body. The body of the mountain giant looks like it is made of stone. But in fact, they are still flesh and blood creatures, not special species. Perhaps because the mountain giants inherit the blood of the titans, they are naturally powerful, strong in defense, good at war, and fearless. In the classification of the Lord Profession's arms, the mountain giant is also one of the top arms. It is no wonder that the mountain giants are fighting against the golden behemoth. The mountain giant's kingdom does not have only one royal city. There are other cities and tribes scattered in the nearby jungles. The royal city is the core of the giant kingdom. It is also the base camp of the mountain giants. The number of mountain giants living here is the largest, up to about 500,000. If all the mountain giants from other cities and tribes are gathered together, the total population of the giant kingdom will reach more than 1 million. Strong combat power. Huge ethnic scale. It is the capital of the giant kingdom to rule the western area of the dark forest. Basically, where there are mountain giants, even the undead will rarely appear. The giant king's city is brightly lit. Even if night has fallen, the city is still as bright as day. The walls of the royal city are nearly 200 meters high, solid and heavy. On the city wall, there are also huge magic cannons, the barrels of which are tens of meters long. There are also a large number of heavy crossbows and even super large catapults. Those catapults do not project ordinary stones. Instead, they are special stone shells. They will explode when they hit the ground. They will explode a large area. Behind the towering stone walls, there are large stone buildings in groups, each of which is more than 50 meters high. If it is smaller, it will not be able to accommodate the huge mountain giants. Wide and straight streets. Various stone buildings in groups. And huge stone statues. They make up this ancient and majestic city. At first glance, there will be a wild atmosphere. At this moment, in the center of the royal city, in a towering palace, there are more than a dozen mountain giants with a body size of about 20 meters. They are part of the high level of the giant kingdom. All of them have reached the saint level. The extraordinary mountain giants don't even have the qualifications to set foot in this palace. Because this is the palace of the ruler of the giant kingdom, the power center of the entire giant kingdom, and ordinary people are not allowed to enter. At this time a mountain giant holding a dead wood scepter said in a buzzing voice, "His Majesty the King and the Prophet are in seclusion to discuss the way of law. I will preside over today's small meeting." "Okay, Great Elder," a mountain giant wrapped in animal skin interrupted and said, "If you have anything to say, just say it directly, don't dither." The Great Elder was silent. After a moment, he took a deep breath. He resisted the urge to beat up the mountain giant who interrupted. He took out a bronze animal skin from his arms and said, "This is the magic map of our kingdom, which records all the cities and affiliated cities of the kingdom. The location of the tribe. It has magical power. Once a city or a tribe is destroyed, the relevant city information or tribal information marked on the magic map will disappear. You can come and have a look. Forget it. Don't look at it." The elder put away the magic map again and said quickly, "From yesterday morning to now, more than 20 of our tribes have been destroyed by the enemy, and the locations are concentrated in the southeast area of the kingdom. Who is so bold as to destroy the tribe of our giants? Elder, tell me, I will go and kill him now." In the hall, a group of mountain giants suddenly became manic. The elder said hurriedly, "It is not the tribe of our mountain giants. The tribes that were destroyed are the goblin tribes, the two-headed demon tribes, and the forest troll tribes affiliated with their kingdom." Hearing this, the mountain giants who were just angry shut up immediately. They don't care about the life and death of the subordinate tribes. Unless there is an enemy invasion and threatens the safety of the kingdom, they would rather stay at home and sleep. A mountain giant said dissatisfiedly, "Grand Elder, you summoned us for such a small matter? Don't think that I dare not beat you just because you are the Grand Elder. Get out of here." The Great Elder holding the dead wood scepter was so angry that he roared. The mountain giant curled his lips, and then left the hall without looking back. The other mountain giants saw this scene and were envious. The Great Elder coughed twice and said, "To make a long story short, the enemy who appeared in that area cannot be ruled out as the Lord of another world. Grand Elder, I think you are old and confused. It has only been a few days since the Lord of another world came to our world. How can he have the strength to destroy so many of our subordinate tribes?" "I do have a suspect," a mountain giant said, "the green dragon Aldrich. Its territory is in the southeastern area of the kingdom. It is likely that after it woke up, it slaughtered these subordinate tribes." "Makes sense," other mountain giants agreed. They did not believe that the enemy would be the Lord of another world. If so, the speed of development would be too amazing. Destroying one or two tribes would be fine. In 2 days, destroying more than 20 tribes in a row would require a large-scale and powerful army. The time for the Lord of Another World to descend was too short to do this. The Green Dragon is most likely the murderer. Whether the murderer is Aldrich or the Lord of Another World, this matter must be investigated, the Great Elder said to the mountain giants present. Choose 3 of you to lead a team of extraordinary warriors to the area of the incident. If the murderer is Aldrich, then peel off its dragon skin. It was it that first broke the peace agreement with our kingdom. No wonder we were so ruthless. Hearing this, the mountain giants present were very unhappy. They didn't like to travel long distances, running more than 1,000 kilometers away to catch the murderer. They preferred to sleep at home. However, although they could beat up the elder under the witness of the Titan statue, they had to obey the orders issued by the elder. At this time, a mountain giant suddenly asked, "Elder, if the murderer is really the Lord of the Other World, what should we do?" "Of course, strangle him in the cradle," the elder said. "If his territory has reached the level of a small town, then destroy his territory together and send his soul back to the other world. If it has not been upgraded to a small town, you will stay near his territory, day and night, waiting for an opportunity to destroy his army. In short, don't give the Lord of the Other World any chance to develop." "I understand," the mountain giant nodded. Then he looked at the other mountain giants. "Which 3 of you will go?" The mountain giants were stunned. They wanted to beat up this mountain giant. "You giant, you asked so many questions, but you didn't go?" "I won't go." "I won't go either." "Then let's fight. Whoever loses goes." "Good idea." As soon as the words fell, a group of mountain giants stomped out of the palace hall. A big fight broke out under the witness of the Titan statue. Until the moon set in the west. The big fight was over. Then, 3 limping holy mountain giants, with a group of extraordinary realm, the mountain giant flew out of the capital of the giant kingdom. He headed straight for the southeast area where Lin Yu's territory was located. Chapter 161. The dragon was lying on the ground, and the ground was covered with blood. Behind the Lord's Hall, in a wide open space, Lin Yu looked at the green dragon corpse in front of him, stunned. He had never seen such a huge monster. The dragon corpse was 100 meters long, and its wingspan was even more exaggerated, larger than its body. It lay on the ground, its body stiff, its eyes closed, and its thick claws slanted on one side of its abdomen, looking like a sleeping ancient giant. It is undeniable. Although it is a giant beast, it has a sense of beauty. The main reason is the scales that cover its body. Each of its dragon scales is like a dazzling emerald gem, very beautiful. It is like a master craftsman carefully carved. It is a perfect work of art. "Is this the giant dragon of the Western world?" Lin Yu took a deep breath and said in admiration, "Even though it is dead, it still exudes a powerful aura, worthy of being a top predator." My Lord Secretarian standing aside said, "Looking at the universe, the strength of the dragon race is indeed powerful. However, they have not been able to stand at the true peak." Lin Yu looked at him in confusion. "The real peak? What do you mean?" Angelia explained, "The real peak is the master of the universe. Countless years ago, the ancient titans did it. They swept everything and ruled the universe, and even created the titans of later generations, as well as powerful creatures such as the dragons. The ancient titans are also called titan giants. However, for some unknown reason, these titan giants disappeared without a trace. At this point, the order of the universe collapsed. The powerful races of the later titans, dragons, elves, human true gods, etc. all want to reach the peak and rule the universe, but until now, no race has reached such a height." The words paused slightly. Angelica continued, "The battlefield of all worlds is the main battlefield for the battles of all races, and the bases of all major races are gathered here. As for the floating islands, it is actually a training base for all races to select elite warriors and expand the strength of the camp." Lin Yu was surprised and said, "So, the number of floating islands is actually very large, not just a few?" "Yes," Angelica nodded. "There are a large number of floating islands in the universe, and they summon ordinary creatures from various worlds to fight on the islands. As long as the strength reaches a certain level, the creatures will have the opportunity to break through the world barriers and enter the battlefield of all worlds." "So that's it." Lin Yu immediately understood why the floating island he was on was numbered 014965. He was very confused before, why there was such a number. After all, according to official statistics from Blue Star, there were only 7 floating islands entered by veteran professionals a year ago. More than 1 million professionals are all scattered on these 7 floating islands. In addition, the size of floating islands is different. Just like the broken glass fragments, the area of floating islands is also large and small. Like the floating island world where Lin Yu is, the area is very large and can accommodate tens of millions of professionals. Moreover, people from other countries are not on this island. They should have landed on other floating islands. In general, after 2 summons, there should be only a dozen floating islands connected to Blue Star. Why are there numbers like 01495 inches for only a dozen floating islands? The reason is that there are more floating islands in other worlds. The mortal creatures of countless races fight on the floating islands of their respective planets. Finally, the surviving elites enter the battlefield of all worlds. Lin Yu suddenly frowned and said, all major races are selecting elites. If these lord professionals on our island enter the battlefield of all worlds, which race or camp will they join? The lord professionals on the island are all Blue Star humans. But the troops under their command are not all human troops. There are more troops from other races. How to calculate this? Angelica said, when the transmission channel between the floating island and the battlefield of all worlds is opened, the major races in the battlefield of all worlds will come to select the elites they like. In other words, the right to choose is not on the hands of professionals. It can also be said, the weak did not choose the free camp's power. It's like a lord of the dead. If he is favored by the gods of the light camp, he has to join the light camp obediently. At this time, Angelica said again, my lord, don't worry about this. You are different from those lord professionals. No true god of any race will invite you to join their camp. Hearing this, Lin Yu was stunned for a moment. No true god will invite him. To put it in a good way, this is the freedom and unrestrainedness of the camp. To put it in a bad way, this is the lack of backing. Lin Yu's mouth twitched slightly, and he said, so, this is what angels mean as the only type of soldiers. Angelia thought about it and nodded. That's about it? Lin Yu suddenly asked, Angelia, you said before that the goddess of light, the goddess of moonlight and hunting, the goddess of sunlight, and the goddess of judgment and judgment are in the same camp as the angels. I really want to know if your relationship is strong. Angelia was stunned for a moment after hearing this. Finally, she said to Lin Yu, my lord, don't worry, our relationship is strong. Then I'm relieved. Lin Yu breathed a sigh of relief. With a strong relationship, he has confidence. After all, the battlefield of all worlds is the world of gods. It is likely that there are true gods everywhere and demigods are worse than dogs. It will be difficult to walk the road ahead when you are new here and have no backing. Lin Yu suddenly thought of something and asked, if I conquer this floating island, I will turn all the creatures on the island, including professionals and local intelligent creatures, into citizens of my kingdom. Once the teleportation array leading to the battlefield of all worlds is opened, the true gods of all races will come and select elites. Isn't that a disguised way of poaching my people? Angelia said respectfully, don't worry, my lord, this will never happen. No one can poach the so-called elites of your race from you unless the price they pay satisfies you. This sentence is awesome. If you are not an angel, you can't say such arrogant words. Lin Yu looked at the beautiful and elegant secretary and in front of him and said with a smile, you seem to know a lot of secrets about the floating island and the battlefield of all worlds. Angelia lowered her head slightly and said, reporting to my lord, tens of millions of years ago, our angel clan also withdrew from the battlefield of all worlds. So I know some relevant information. Why did you withdraw? Did something special happen back then? I don't know. Everything is just your will. Huh? Lin Yu was stunned. What did the things that happened tens of millions of years ago have to do with him? Chapter 162. The old man was so confused. Lin Yu was confused. He was just a tiny human on the blue planet. Luckily, he was summoned by the floating island of 10,000 worlds and became a lord professional. Luckily, he randomly got 5 territory-specific arms. He chose the angel marked as only from them. All along, the angels respectfully called him the Lord of Holy Light, and he only thought it was because he was a lord professional. He was a lord. Angels were his arms. In addition, the angels themselves were a race specializing in the field of faith. So, it didn't seem strange that the angels worshipped him as the Lord of Holy Light. But now, Angelica claimed that the withdrawal of the angels from the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds tens of millions of years ago was due to his will, that is, the order he issued. This made him confused. After thinking for a long time, Lin Yu suddenly grinned and said jokingly, Angelica, You make me feel that I am the reincarnation of the Lord of Holy Light, and I have lived for countless tens of thousands of years in my previous life, Angelica said solemnly. You are the eternal creator, and there is no power that can make you reincarnate. Lin Yu's laughter stopped abruptly. If he is the eternal creator, he can slap the floating island into ashes with one slap. Go to the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds again and capture all those famous goddesses as wives. Why should he stay in this small territory? At present, his level is only king level. After a long silence, Lin Yu did not continue to argue with Angelica about this issue. This topic is too high level. It is not suitable for him to get involved now. Lin Yu turned his eyes to the dragon corpse in front of him again. If Angelica had not told him, he would not have thought that the famous dragon clan was actually created by the ancient titans, Titans, and was considered a brother to the later titans. How do you think this green dragon corpse should be dealt with, my lord? The holy dragon is not of much value, Angelica said. It can be decomposed, the dragon meat will be your meal, the materials will be given to Nicole to make equipment, and the remaining useless things will be used to feed the black-bone blood vine, if it were the undead lord. This green dragon corpse is definitely a treasure. It can be used to summon bone dragons. But for Lin Yu, its purpose is just to be decomposed. Do it as you say, Lin Yu nodded. He had not thought of selling the green dragon's body to the lord professionals of the undead camp. The reason was that they could not afford it. At most, they could only exchange for a few thousand gold coins, which was a bit of a loss. He would rather decompose it himself. He could also taste the taste of dragon meat. Afterwards, Lin Yu returned to the Lord's Hall and counted the other spoils with the help of Angelia. First, various basic resources. There were more than 1.3 million units of food, wood, stone, and iron ore, totaling nearly 2 million units. This was the total of materials from 17 local strongholds captured by the Angel Legion. In addition, there were a large number of monster materials and metal materials. The harvest was so rich that it was amazing. Lin Yu estimated that the resources in his territory were so abundant that even if he built 3 or 4 more high-level warehouses, it would be impossible to store them all, since only one warehouse could be built at this stage. So most of the resources had to be piled up in the open air, including food. Before, Lin Yu could use the island trading platform as a temporary resource reserve. But now it's no longer possible, because the total amount of basic resources that can be listed on the trading platform at the same time is capped at 2 million units. Lin Yu's quota has been used up long ago. He now has a full 2 million units of food hanging on the platform. As for the Skeleton King's belt, it can't be stacked too much, because it is still needed to hold the hunting harvest of various arms legions. For Lin Yu, the daily resource explosion is a painful and happy thing. More than 159,000 gold coins, 364 pieces of equipment, more than 400 blueprints. Lin Yu took a deep breath. This harvest is simply amazing. If it weren't for the fact that the Angel Legion went to attack the mainland, the gold coins and equipment harvested today would be even more, doubling. This time, we got more blueprints than equipment. It was because the Angel Legion destroyed more than a dozen local strongholds. A large number of related blueprints were revealed. In addition to gold coins, equipment, blueprints and other spoils, there were also 17 stronghold treasure chests in the belt space. Among them, 14 were silver-level stronghold treasure chests. 3 were gold-level stronghold treasure chests. Lin Yu immediately took out the equipment and blueprints and other spoils, and called the 6-winged angel Elena and the ancient elf Doris to help Angelica count them together. As for him, he opened his treasure chest as usual. Soon, 17 shining stronghold treasure chests were placed in the hall. With so many stronghold treasure chests, just the honor value and reputation value open would be an astonishing number, if nothing unexpected happens. After all these stronghold treasure chests are opened, Lin Yu's reserve of glory value can exceed 10,000. Without hesitation, Lin Yu took action immediately. Soon, a series of information prompts appeared in his mind. Congratulations to Lord Lin Yu, you have successfully opened a silver-level stronghold treasure chest. You get 5,000 units of food, wood, each. You get 1,000 gold coins. You get 5 arrow tower blueprints. You get 2 goblin army number blueprints. You get 300 glory points and 1,000 reputation points. Congratulations to Lord Lin Yu, you have successfully opened. Congratulations to Lord Lin Yu, You have successfully opened a gold level stronghold treasure chest. You get 10,000 units of food, wood, each. You get 3,000 gold coins. You get a bottle of medium-sized source energy. You get a forest troll army number blueprint, advanced. You get 500 glory points and 3,000 reputation points. Congratulations, Lord Lin Yu. You have successfully opened. You get food, wood. You get a blueprint for the building of the two-headed demon troop. You get 3 magic gems of earth attribute. You get 500 points of honor and 3,000 points of reputation. I've made a fortune. Lin Yu was overjoyed. 17 stronghold treasure chests, not to mention the basic resources. There are 23,000 gold coins, 5,700 points of honor, 23,000 points of reputation. Dozens of various blueprints. There's even a blueprint for the two-headed demon troop building. After using this blueprint to build a troop building, you can consume gold coins to summon the two-headed demon troop. The two-headed demon is a relatively powerful type of intermediate troop. If this blueprint is sold, it will definitely be sought after by those low-level lords, and they will fight for it even if they have to spend all their wealth. In addition, there is a bottle of medium-sized origin energy. This is also the second bottle of origin energy that Lin Yu has opened so far after opening so many base treasure chests. It can be seen that it is still very rare. However, after taking a look at its information, the expectation on Lin Yu's face disappeared instantly. This bottle of medium-sized origin energy is limited to the use of level 5 to level 6 professionals. It can help them improve a major realm. But Lin Yu's level has reached the king level, and this thing is useless to him. However, if it is auctioned, it will definitely make countless combat professionals crazy in exchange for a lot of gold coins. After all, what combat professionals need most is to improve their level. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163. After the bottle of original energy was put away, Lin Yu checked the information of two-headed demon soldier construction blueprint, level, intermediate, number of times it can be used, once, soldiers that can be recruited, two-headed demon, construction requirements. 50,000 units of wood, 30,000 units of stone, 10,000 units of iron ore. Introduction. This is a very precious soldier construction blueprint, which can help you recruit a powerful two-headed demon, and you only need to pay a small amount of gold coins. Powerful two-headed demon. It's just a mid-level troop after all. Top-level lords don't like this blueprint, and it's useless to high-level lords and a pity to discard it. It's priceless only to low-level lords and mid-level lords who need melee troops. Unfortunately, it can't be sold. Lin Yu shook his head with some regret. It's not that no one wants to buy it, but no one can afford it. After all, it's a troop building blueprint. Once used, you can get a territory building that can summon countless troops. As long as you have gold coins, you can summon a large number of two-headed demons. Its value, even now, is as high as tens of thousands of gold coins. Let me ask, which low-level lord or mid-level lord can afford such a blueprint? But I can't let it rot in my hands. Put it on the trading platform first, but don't sell it for gold coins. Only exchange it for special items. If there are special items with extremely high value, it's not impossible to make a deal. Thinking of this, Lin Yu put this army building blueprint on the island trading platform. At the same time, the bottle of medium origin energy was also put on the shelf. Medium origin energy is set to auction mode. The auction time limit is 24 hours. Such a long time is enough for those combat professionals to wait impatiently. Here, Angelica and the other two also counted the equipment and blueprints. They were classified and handed over to Lin Yu. Lin Yu then put these equipment and blueprints on the island trading platform at different prices. In the end, there were more than 200 blueprints left, all of which were useful for Lin Yu's territory. For example, wooden house blueprints, arrow tower blueprints, army number blueprints, army evolution blueprints, etc. It took less than 10 minutes. Lin Yu built all the wooden houses and arrow towers. He used more than a dozen army number blueprints to summon more than 3,000 elite goblins, more than 2,000 elven great dwarves, and more than 8,000 elite forest trolls. One of them was the advanced forest troll army number blueprint from the gold treasure chest. This blueprint alone summoned a full 5,000 fully armed forest trolls for Lin Yu. So far, the scale of the forest troll corps under Lin Yu has reached a full 30,000. The weakest in the legion are all level 5 forest trolls. It can be said that this forest troll corps alone is a very powerful force, and it is not a problem to sweep the nearby wild jungle. At the same time, the forest troll corps has also become the largest legion in Lin Yu's territory. The number is more than that of goblins. Lin Yu summoned the sexy and seductive ancient elf Doris. He handed her a dozen army evolution blueprints, and said, "You can decide whether to use these evolution blueprints yourself or assign them to the elves of your tribe. Praise the great Lord, thank you for your gift." Doris took these blueprints excitedly and respectfully. The perfect body under the black gauze skirt trembled slightly. She was able to evolve into an ancient great elf and have the growth potential to be promoted to true god, relying on the army evolution blueprints given by the Lord of Holy Light. This shows how precious these blueprints are. If she had known earlier that believing in the Lord of Holy Light could get such a gift, she would not have formed an alliance with the Skeleton King Ryan at all, but would have brought the elves of the tribe to the surface world as soon as possible and joined the territory of the Lord of Holy Light. The great Lord of Holy Light. Kind, fraternal, fair, selfless. Such a god of faith is completely worthy of the eternal loyalty of their dark elves. Yet, Lin Yu smiled and nodded. He glanced at a pair of translucent butterfly wings behind Doris. After a day of hunting, your aura has also been strengthened. I think it's not far from being promoted to the saint level. Thank you, Lord, for your favor. I have the confidence that I can break through the shackles and be promoted to the saint level in the near future, when it comes to promotion to the holy rank. Doris was even happier. When she was in the tribe, her rank was only the late king rank. According to the normal cultivation speed of the local dark elves, it would be impossible for her to be promoted to the holy rank without more than 10 or 20 years. But since she believed in the great Lord of Holy Light, her rank has been rising. In just a few days, she was promoted to the extraordinary realm. Now, she is even looking forward to the holy rank. This is something she never dared to think about before. Doris made up her mind that when she had the opportunity to return to the underground world, she must go to the royal city of the Dark Elves and bring the Dark Elf Queen and all the elves of the entire tribe to believe in the Lord of Holy Light. Only in this way can their Dark Elves become more glorious. With my identity as an ancient great elf, I think it will be very convincing, but if Her Majesty the Queen is stubborn and refuses to listen to advice, then I will report to the Lord of Holy Light and conquer her by force. In short, the tribe needs to believe in the Holy Light, because this is the future of our Dark Elves. Not long after, the beautiful and capable elf blacksmith Nicole also walked into the Lord's Hall with a large group of Dark Elves. Once again brought more than 900 pieces of equipment to Lin Yu. This is the harvest of the blacksmith shop after a working day. Although all of them are low-level equipment of level 2 and 3, the total value is not low. In addition to the more than 300 pieces of equipment that Lin Yu just sold. If nothing unexpected happens, this time he can harvest hundreds of thousands of gold coins. As for the various boycotts that appeared in the island chat channel before, saying that he would never buy his equipment again, he is not worried at all. Thousands of people have thousands of faces have thousands of hearts. How could tens of millions of combat professionals on the island stand on the same boat? Nowadays, the equipment on the island still scarce. If you don't buy, others will. In order to boycott him, do you even want your own life? This is unrealistic. Sure enough, when Lin Yu put these more than 900 low-level equipment on the island trading platform, all the equipment was sold out in just a short while, including the equipment just sold. Except for some medium and high-level equipment being auctioned. Other fixed-price equipment has long been snatched away. As an equipment merchant, Lin Yu's price is relatively fair, far less greedy than other professionals who sell equipment. Naturally, his equipment is very popular. As for the boycott, it's as if it never happened. At the same time, island chat channel, there was also a lot of swearing and complaining. Fuck. Didn't we agree not to buy Lin Yu's equipment? Why are they all like they have been single for 30 years, and their hand speed is faster than a dog paddle? That's right, I despise all those who are not determined. I despise them too, because I didn't get it. Boss Lin Yu has become rich again. Huh? Why did I say again? I really want to get the two-headed demon troop building blueprints sold by Master Lin Yu. If you give it to me, My territory will soar, as expected of boss Lin Yu. Even legendary treasures like troop building blueprints can be dropped. Don't you see how many local power bases Lin Yu has captured today? His honor value on the honor contribution list alone has increased by more than 5,000. It is estimated that more than a dozen local forces fell at the feet of Lin Yu's angel army. Envy, who has extremely rare special items? Lend them to me in exchange for this blueprint. I will definitely repay you in the future. The person above, are you thinking about eating shit? If I can get this blueprint, even if it is shit, I can eat it. Sure enough, those who achieve great things do not care about trivial matters. Lin Yu sighed. While the professionals on the island were chatting and talking nonsense, he was already summoning angels on a large scale. The proceeds from the sale of equipment and blueprints this time, plus the more than 100,000 gold coins harvested from hunting, his gold coin reserves directly reached an astonishing 500,000. Such a huge amount of gold coins is enough to upgrade the Dark Elf Mother Tree by 2 levels. Of course, he will not use the gold coins on the Dark Elf Mother Tree. All these gold coins will be used to summon angels. This time, I can summon 17 small angel legions at full strength at one time. The total number of summoned angels exceeds 8,000. Lin Yu took a deep breath to calm his inner world. Then, he communicated with a floating island of 10,000 worlds, and opened the summoning black hole. But with the appearance of the summoned black hole a moment later, an accident suddenly happened. The black hole suspended in the air trembled violently, as if it had been hit hard. Almost at the same time, there was an angry roar. Then, there was another majestic and cold voice shouting, as if saying bold, arrogant, Astra, stop. In short, the world behind the black hole was in chaos. Chapter 164. The two of them were in a state of panic. What's going on? A fight? Lin Yu looked shocked. He could vaguely hear the name Astra. There were 3 different voices shouting. There was another person who didn't speak, only a low roar of anger. That is to say, 5 people were involved in this chaotic incident. Lin Yu didn't expect such an emergency to happen, which made him a little stunned for a while. And Angelia, who was standing behind him, had an elegant expression that instantly sank, and was obviously in a bad mood. When destroying the seal of hell, you should have known that this would happen. Angelia gritted her teeth and whispered secretly, that guy is far less disciplined than our holy angels. Just at this time, she heard Lin Yu ask, Angelia, what happened behind the black hole? Who is Astra? Angelia quickly put away her strange thoughts and said, reporting to my lord, I can't see what's happening behind the black hole now. But I know Astra, she is one of the rulers of hell, a powerful fallen angel. Hearing this, Lin Yu's eyes lit up immediately. Do you think she sensed my call and wanted to descend to the floating island world? It seems that she fought with a few people. Angelia was silent immediately. She sensed the expectation and joy in the heart of the Creator. Angelica thought for a moment and said, my lord, the laws of this world are too fragile to bear the pressure of powerful gods, so the possibility of her coming is very low. In addition, this is also not allowed by the rules of the Wanji floating island. These words made Lin Yu a little disappointed. But he also knew the truth of Angelica. Did a supreme being forcibly come before, and ended up destroying the cross-border teleportation formation from this floating island to Blue Star? Until now, the rules of the Wanji floating island are still working hard to repair the teleportation formation. According to Angelica, Astra is one of the rulers of hell. Then, she is most likely a supreme being. Once she comes, it is not the teleportation formation that will be destroyed, but the entire floating island. The rule's mother will try her best to stop her. After a while, the summoning black hole suspended in the air of the hall suddenly calmed down. No longer trembling. The chaos in the world behind him seemed to have never happened, and there was no more strange noise. I don't know whether the fight is over, or have they reached some kind of agreement and friendly talks. In short, after the black hole returned to calm, countless starlight appeared in the black hole. At first glance, the starlight was bright and densely packed, like the stars in the sky. But soon, Lin Yu widened his eyes, his expression filled with disbelief. Because a large number of dark red starlight appeared in the black hole. According to previous summoning experience, dark red starlight represents fallen angels, and white starlight represents holy angels. Lin Yu found that about 1/3 of the starlight that appeared in this wave was dark red. In other words, a large number of fallen angels will appear in this summoning. This is incredible. After all, Lin Yu summoned so many times before, and basically summoned holy angels in the lower world, while the number of fallen angels was only 2. This wave, he summoned 17 small angel legions. About 1/3 of them will be fallen angels. What does this mean? As expected of the ruler of hell. He is really powerful, Lin Yu exclaimed. He had every reason to believe that the ability to summon a large number of fallen angels this time was directly related to the bold Astra. She shook the black hole with her own strength. And she had a hard fight with several other indescribable supreme beings. Then, the fallen angel camp got the opportunity to land on the floating island in large numbers. It is no longer dominated by holy angels. And if there was no sudden incident this time, then perhaps the 17 small angel legions he summoned would all be holy angels. Angelia on the side also discovered the abnormality in the black hole. Silently stretched out her slender right hand and rubbed her smooth forehead. "What's wrong?" Lin Yu asked with concern. "Are you feeling unwell? Why don't you go upstairs and lie down for a while?" Angelia quickly responded, "Thank you for your concern, Lord. I'm fine. Maybe I'm not used to it because I just got promoted to the saint level and initially mastered the power of the domain." "Yes," Lin Yu nodded and said, "you don't have to worry too much, take care of your health." Angelia bowed respectfully, praised the merciful Lord. While the two were talking, dense and beautiful figures flew out of the black hole. The first to descend were small angel legions of reorganized size, led by 6 winged angels, followed by a large number of 4 winged angels and 2 winged angels. There were 12 small angel legions in total. All of them were holy angels, emitting an extremely holy breath. After them, the fallen angel legions descended. There were 5 legions in total, also led by 6 winged angels, followed by a large number of 4 winged fallen angels and 2 winged fallen angels. But the difference is, Lin Yu keenly discovered that the 4 winged fallen angels and 2 winged fallen angels were in a state of something wrong. Their eyes were dull and their expressions were stiff. They looked like they had no self-awareness. "Praise you, the Supreme Creator, thank you for your favor, we will swear allegiance to you until death." 5 6-winged fallen angels wearing blood armor and holding blood-dripping swords came to Lin Yu, and knelt down on one knee without hesitation with the tip of the sword stationed. The 4 winged fallen angels and 2 winged fallen angels also knelt on one knee, swearing allegiance to Lin Yu. However, their dull eyes and expressions remained unchanged. "Get up," Lin Yu raised his hand. Then he pulled out a 6-winged fallen angel. "What's your name?" the 6-winged fallen angel said with great reverence, reporting to the great creator. "My name is Gwen." Fallen angels all have names. He doesn't need to give real names. Lin Yu asked, "What's the matter with these 4 winged fallen angels and 2 winged fallen angels?" The fallen angel Gwen explained, "They are the hell warriors we created. Their souls are blank in the initial state, but they have the ability to keep learning and growing. In this respect, they are not much different from the angels born from the reincarnation pool. It's just that one has a perfect soul, one needs to grow and evolve. But please rest assured, the Creator, these hell soldiers are very powerful and will never let you down." Lin Yu suddenly realized. No wonder they look dull and have no emotional fluctuations. It turns out that they are created war soldiers. Unlike the holy angels of the angel family, they have complete souls and self-awareness after being born from the angel reincarnation pool. The reason why Lin Yu knew this is because he learned from Angelia that the holy angels he summoned were all just born from the angel reincarnation pool, and they are all perfect holy creatures. But in general, these hell soldiers are still living beings, because they also have souls. Just like a blank piece of paper, it needs to be rendered with the surrounding environment as ink. Chapter 165. The first time, the second time. Lin Yu then randomly checked the information of several 4-winged fallen angels and 2 winged fallen angels. He found that they were indeed very strong. Although, their growth potential limits were the same as those of the holy angels. The former was at the peak of demigod, and the latter was an ordinary demigod. But their initial combat power was much stronger. The initial level of the 2-winged fallen angel was level 7. And the initial level of the 4-winged fallen angel was as high as level 9. You know, the initial level of the 6-winged power angels of the holy angel camp was only level 9, which was nothing more than the growth potential reaching the level of the lower true god. They are indeed the hell warriors. They are the soldiers created by the fallen angel camp specifically for war and killing. At this time, the 6-winged fallen angel Gwen said again, "Great Creator, due to the restrictions of the world rules of the 10,000 worlds floating island, Their initial levels are forced to be lowered. When these hell soldiers return to their peak state, they will also burst out with more amazing combat power. How do you say? Lin Yu asked curiously. The fallen angel Gwen replied respectfully, when they return to their heyday, the energy angel heart in the hell soldiers will be activated synchronously. At that time, they will have the function of merging. Only one team will merge, evolve into super hell soldiers. Its combat power is strong enough to kill the lower true gods. Hearing this, not only Lin Yu showed a shocked expression. Angelia, who was standing beside him, was also surprised. The fallen angel team is also composed of a 4-winged fallen angel and 52-winged fallen angels. In their heyday, there was a peak demigod and 50 ordinary demigods. It is incredible that such a team can kill the lower-level true gods who hold the power of God. After all those below the gods are ants. Under normal circumstances, even hundreds of demigods combined are no match for a true god. The power of God is so terrible. However, the super hell warriors of the fallen angels can kill true gods. It is really strong. Cursive, Angelia suddenly said, angels are born in the Lord's reincarnation pool, pursuing individual evolution, not combining into warriors like machines. You, the fallen angels, have taken the wrong evolutionary direction. The fallen angel Gwen did not refute this. First, she dared not. Second, there was no point in refutation. Because their fallen angels did not have a reincarnation pool. All the reincarnation pools of the angel clan are in the hands of the holy angels. 6-winged fallen angels like them who have their own souls, and even fallen angels of higher status, are all fallen from holy angels. The number is limited. How can they compare with the arrogance of the holy angels, who have a large number of angel reincarnation pools? Countless new angels are bred every moment. If the holy angels are the emperors and local tyrants of the god's domain, then the fallen angels are rebels and beggars. Not only are they small in number and weak in power, but they also have very few resources. It is already very good to be able to create hell warriors with their own strength. Besides, how can we conclude that they have taken the wrong direction of evolution based on Angelia's words alone? The fallen angels think their hell warriors are the weapon for the Creator to rule the universe. In hell, they not only have fallen angel warriors, but also high-ranking fallen angels are transforming hell giant monster warriors in large quantities, which are giant monster killers with terrifying firepower. And their crown is also constantly looking for opportunities through their own efforts. Until those giant monster killers are also sent to this world, and even to the battlefield of all realms, to serve the Supreme Creator. Gwen believes, one day, their fallen angel camp will be able to win a place in the Lord's domain. As long as they can get the eternal favor of the Creator, they don't have to return to hell. Not bad, Lin Yu was praising what the fallen angel Gwen said. The higher the level of the creature, the lower the possibility of cross-level challenge. Demigods are mortals. True gods are immortal gods. It is almost impossible for mortals to kill gods. However, the hell warriors of the fallen angel camp, but being able to do this is indeed worthy of his praise. Lord Secretarian on the side was helpless. But if the Lord likes it, what can she do? Angelia couldn't help but wonder if their holy angels should get the war soldier technology of the fallen angels and copy it. But after careful consideration, she gave up the idea. Because their holy angels don't need any war soldiers at all. They have a trillion-scale Orthodox angel army and countless special angels as assistants. The power of their holy angels is many times stronger than that of the fallen angels, and there is no need to imitate the fallen angels in this regard. After being exiled for so many years, that guy still hasn't given up and has been working hard secretly. Now that the Lord of Holy Light has returned, she has got a chance to show her face, but that's all. When we arrive at the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds and my angel army truly descends, the Lord of Holy Light will naturally know who is his most capable assistant. Thinking of this, Angelia's heart suddenly calmed down, ignoring the fallen angels kneeling on the ground in the hall. Now, all the holy angels summoned by the Lord of Holy Light, whether they are Orthodox angels or special angels, are all just bred by the angel reincarnation pool, similar to newborn babies. The main force of their holy angel camp has not yet been dispatched. That is an army of trillions. The weakest are all demigods. Among them, there are countless true gods and archangels at the level of main gods. Their war strength is completely incomparable to the fallen angel camp exiled to hell. At this time, Angelia glanced at all the fallen angels summoned, and did not sense the breath of that guy, so she was relieved. A very bright smile also appeared on her beautiful and holy cheeks. I knew you didn't dare to come out. After getting to know the 5 6-winged fallen angels one by one, Lin Yu asked them to lead their respective fallen angel legions to retreat. Soon, the fallen angel legions gathered in the square of the territory. There were 5 fully staffed legions. There were more than 205,000 fallen angels in total. The strong breath of hell almost dispelled the holy light and divine power around. At the same time, other residents of the territory also retreated and dared not approach. Seeing these 5 fallen angel legions, the fallen angels Gladys and Sylvia, who were summoned by Lin Yu earlier, had bright red eyes. Your Majesty succeeded, being able to send so many hell warriors under the suppression of several 18-winged dark angels, shows that your Majesty has won a phased victory. This is just a prelude. The fallen angel Severia said, it is said that the thing His Majesty is making can forcibly penetrate time and space, break the world rule barrier of the floating island of all worlds, and establish a stable space-time channel. By then, the Creator will not even need to spend gold coins to summon us, and our legion can also descend in full force. Hearing this, Gladys's breathing became rapid. Chapter 166. After that, Lin Yu summoned a group of 6-winged holy angels. There were 12 in total. 6 of them were 6-winged power angels, 3 were 6-winged energy angels, and 2 were 6-winged power angels. The last 6-winged angel gave him a surprise. Because it was a craftsman angel. In the base camp of the angel clan, there are many kinds of special angels, and craftsman angels are just one of them. Lin Yu didn't expect after the craftsman angel Carol and the punishment angel Caroline, he summoned another craftsman angel. This was a complete surprise. The reason is simple. The appearance of the second craftsman angel can double the speed of building Angel City. It originally took 10 days to build a City of Angels, but now it only takes 5 days. In addition, the main body of the City of Angels, built by Carol, has been completed. Now it only needs to carry out the final rune engraving and install various war weapons. The war weapons are various magic cannons mounted on the city walls. Carol has already built them. As for her way of building them, it is also very magical. Lin Yu saw with his own eyes that Carol swung the purple gold war hammer in her hand and hammered it hard on the ground a few times, and then the phantoms of magic cannons appeared one by one. Then, all the required materials were put in. The phantoms quickly solidified. Finally, they turned into physical magic cannons. The whole process did not require the blacksmiths in the blacksmith shop to work at all. It was all done by Carol and her dark elf assistants. Now, just wait for the runes in the city to be engraved, and then install these magic cannons, and the City of Angels can be used. Now, the appearance of the second craftsman angel can greatly shorten the process of this work. According to Lin Yu's estimation, with the cooperation of 2 craftsman angels, it will take about 3 to 4 days to completely complete the Angel City. The most important thing is that they can continue to build new angel cities. Basically, one every 5 days. It only takes half a month for several angel cities to appear in his territory. This is very scary. After instructing the other 6-winged angels to retreat with their legions, Lin Yu said to the beautiful craftsman angel in front of him, "From now on, your name is Marion. You and Carol will be responsible for the construction of the angel city together. Praise you, the great Lord of Holy Light." The craftsman angel Marion said respectfully and enthusiastically, "I will do my best to build more angel cities for you." Very good. Lin Yu nodded and said, "You have to speed up. The hope of attacking the giant kingdom falls on you." "Yes, Supreme Lord." After getting Lin Yu's signal, Marion picked up the huge purple gold warhammer and quickly exited the Lord's Hall. Then, she went straight to the northeast area of the territory. It can be seen that a platinum gold city with a height of 500 meters and a length of 8,000 meters has appeared in that area. In appearance, there is no strange energy flashing. This is because the angel rune has not yet begun to be engraved. When all the angel runes are engraved, it will not only shine with holy light, but also fly up to a height of 10,000 meters, and run rampant in this world. In the center of the city, there is also a towering statue of a 12-winged angel. Judging from the attire on her body, this is a 12-winged angel. She has the most powerful attack method in this angel city, and can easily kill a powerful creature in the demigod realm. And this angel city is also the confidence of Lin Yu to go to war with the giant kingdom. Even if he stirs up a hornet's nest and causes the other 3 super forces to come and attack his territory together, He will not be at a disadvantage with the Angel City. Lin Yu smiled and said to Secretary and beside him, I originally planned to capture the Dark Forest within 20 days, but now it seems that it won't take that long. My lord is wise. Angelia nodded and said, once the City of Angels is built, it will be very easy to capture this area. Lin Yu said, but we still need to speed up the hunting and attacking the strongholds of the surrounding local forces. We need to obtain more gold coins and summon a large-scale angel army. In this way, our war pace can move faster. Yes, my lord, Angelia said she understood. Afterwards, Lin Yu took out a bunch of magic cores from the Skeleton King's belt. There were more than 100 of them. However, only one was of saint rank, and the others were of extraordinary quality. The saint rank magic cores came from the Green Dragon. Are these magic cores enough to kill the giant kingdom? It will be fine if we multiply them 5 times. Lin Yu put the magic cores into the warehouse and said, same as before, speed up. I can't wait to stand on the ruins of the giant kingdom. Angelia nodded solemnly. In her golden eyes, a hint of murderous intent was revealed. Seeing this scene, the 6-winged angel Elena, who was standing not far away, lowered her HUD silently. A new night battle has begun. Lin Yu's 40 reorganized Holy Angel Corps and 5 Fallen Angel Corps all took off and flew towards the 4 directions of the territory. The mighty figure was extremely shocking. Up to now, Lin Yu has a total of 45 Angel Corps, a total of 23,000 angels. In addition, he also has a Dark Elf Corps of several thousand, and a Forest Troll Corps of 30,000. As for the other Goblin Corps, Great Dwarf Corps, and Goblin Corps, there is no need to list them. With Lin Yu's current territory strength, he can definitely sweep the territory of any Lord Professional. Oh no, it's any professional alliance. Even the Midsummer Night, which is known as the strongest professional alliance on the island and has more than 100,000 alliance members, can't resist Lin Yu's army. His territory core is already invincible. After he kills the Giant Kingdom, Bone Temple, Naga Kingdom, and Elf Garden, he will be the actual ruler of the Dark Forest. At that time, he will be able to use the Dark Forest as his territory and establish his own kingdom. Although the title of Your Majesty the King sounds a bit second year, but for a Lord Professional, this is a huge temptation. It is also an honorary title. To this day, Lin Yu has not had a title. What a group of cute little things. In hell, they were our playthings. In this world, they have become our enemies. If you don't know, you would think that they are all undead monarchs at the level of true gods, more than 10 kilometers away from Lin Yu's territory. 5 fully staffed fallen angel legions gathered together. Every fallen angel exudes a strong power of hell. This power is more evil than the undead power of undead creatures, and it is brutal and filled with a breath of destruction. Below the fallen angel army, there are densely packed undead creatures. A group of high-level undead led by them trembled with fear. What kind of creatures are these? They feel more terrifying to me than the devil in the dark. Such a terrifying evil aura. Are they the legendary demons? How is that possible? The demons have long been expelled from the origin world by us, and even the world has been blown up and turned into floating islands. The demons have retreated to the battlefield of all realms and hidden themselves. Then what are they? Only the devil knows. Eagle Lord silently lowered his head, indicating that he didn't know. At this time the 5 fallen angel armies gathered in the sky were dispatched. Led by 7 6-winged fallen angels, they fell from the sky like black shells, and fell heavily into the camp of the undead army. Boom 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 boom. Countless dull roars sounded. In an instant, countless undead creatures were blown away by the shock wave. Before they fell to the ground, their bodies were torn into pieces by blood-red sword lights, and even their soul power was swallowed up by the masters of those sword lights. Kill, a high-level undead lord roared, commanding the undead creatures like the ocean to besiege the fallen angel army. However, the result was that the undead were killed in large numbers. The 4-winged fallen angels and 2-winged fallen angels on the battlefield are worthy of being called hell warriors. Each of them is like a killing machine, cold and crazy. Not only are they powerful individually, but they also have perfect cooperation. A team is a group. Whether it is releasing combat skills or close combat, their cooperation is extremely tacit, just like a precision instrument, without any flaws. Compared with the holy angels, they are even more cold-blooded and brutal. Born for war and killing. To put it bluntly, native intelligent creatures still have the chance to surrender when they encounter holy angels. But if they encounter these hell warriors, let alone surrender, even their souls will be eaten. Chapter 167. The Lord's Hall. Lin Yu took out a stack of blueprints from the territory warehouse and handed them to the elegant secretarian. This is the architectural blueprint of the watchtower. You will build it near the territory later and upgrade it to a high level. These watchtower blueprints are what Lin Yu saved in the past 2 days. Today, the size of the territory's legion has increased significantly again, so he took it out. After the construction is completed, it can provide a wider field of vision for the territory's legion at night. The monitoring area of the high-level watchtower is 30 kilometers in diameter. He didn't use these blueprints before because this area was enough for the territory's arms legion to play. Now, the size of the arms legion has skyrocketed. One watchtower is obviously not enough. Yes, Lord, Angelia took the blueprint respectfully. Similar to the watchtower blueprint, which is not limited to Lord professionals to use the blueprint, as long as the Lord allows, the soldiers can also use an upgrade on their behalf. If you have no other instructions, I will withdraw first. Go. Lin Yu waved his hand. Seeing this, Angelia respectfully left the Lord's Hall. After the construction of these watchtowers is completed, she will also participate in the night hunting activities. However, her hunting target is not the ordinary undead on the battlefield, but the hunting of the possible extraordinary undead and even the holy undead. Of course, it is normal even if she can't find them. Generally speaking, undead creatures of this level are hidden in the underground world. In that case, Angelia will continue to hunt the monsters in the mountains and forests. As soon as Angelia left, there were only 2 figures left in the Lord's Hall. One is Lin Yu. The other is the 6-winged angel Elena. As for the sexy and enchanting ancient great elf Doris, she has already brought the great elf elder of her tribe, Carol, and several elf masters who have stepped into the king level into the spiritual field. Doris is not selfish. She did not use the arms evolution drawings that Lin Yu gave her herself. Instead, she distributed them to the elf masters of the tribe, trying to help them successfully achieve bloodline evolution, or even go a step further, activate the hidden bloodline in their bodies, and become the legendary ancient great elves. Carol, Sheila, these evolution drawings are the gift of the Lord of Holy Light. You must cherish and use them. In the spiritual field, Doris said to Carol and other dark elf masters with a serious face. Carol and the others responded solemnly, "Don't worry, Chief. We will not let you down, and we will not fail the favor of the Lord of Holy Light." While speaking, several people looked at the pale golden wings behind Doris with great envy. This is the symbol of the ancient great elves. The legendary wings of law. It can help the ancient great elves to comprehend and master the law more easily. The reason why the dark elves and natural elves of later generations find it difficult to become immortal gods or even to be promoted to demigods is because they lost this pair of wings of law during the long evolution process. In return, the size of the elf population has skyrocketed compared to the ancient times. Today's elves are many times larger. On the one hand, the population is expanding. On the other hand, the road to becoming a strong person has become difficult. I don't know whether this evolution is successful or unsuccessful. Of course, whether it was success or failure, it was all the fault of nature and the goddess of elves. It was she who guided the direction of evolution for the elves. Under the gaze of the ancient great elf Doris, Carol and others also used the army evolution blueprint in their hands. Soon, a brilliant golden light fell from the void, enveloping them in it. Finally, it turned into huge balls of light, wrapping up their sexy bodies. Doris did not leave. She stood aside and waited silently, praying for Carol and the others. She hoped that they could all evolve successfully, awaken their hidden bloodlines, and be promoted to ancient great elves. In that case, she would have a greater chance of forcing the Queen of Dark Elf to surrender. I hope there will be no accidents and it will end as soon as possible. I have to go back to serve the Lord of Holy Light. As if she had thought of something, Doris's delicate body wrapped in a black gauze skirt trembled slightly. Delicate and Charming's cheeks also showed a blush. Especially the pair of elves' iconic pointed ears, which were red and hot. Here in the Lord's Hall, the beautiful 6-winged angel Elena saluted respectfully and said, "My lord, I will also withdraw first and join the army tonight's war." The 3 pairs of snow-white angel wings behind her exuded a sacred glow. The aura was also many times stronger than in the morning. Before going out hunting in the morning, Elena's level was the late king level. Following the 6-winged angel Renee, and 4 angels in the extraordinary realm, such as Aida and Sally, to hunt the monsters hidden in the mountains and forests, Elena's harvest was also very large. At least in terms of level, she has been promoted to the extraordinary realm. So far, Lin Yu has a lot of extraordinary soldiers under his command. The number is more than 20. Most of them are angels. Only 2 are elves, one is Doris, and the other is Carol. In addition, the first batch of winged angels summoned by Lin Yu, such as Vina, Helen, Irene, Philly, etc., have basically all stepped into the extraordinary level. Every day's hunting. Not only did Lin Yu have a great harvest, the level and strength of the troops are also growing rapidly. I believe that it will not take long for the number of extraordinary troops under his command to exceed 100. Saint-level troops will also appear one after another. For example, the ancient great elf Doris is very close to being promoted to the holy level. Lin Yu estimated that it should be 1 or 2 days before Doris will be able to enter the holy level and master the power of the domain. Elena, you don't have to participate in the war tonight. Lin Yu's eyes fell on Elena's beautiful and holy cheeks, and he smiled and said, "You have just been promoted to the extraordinary, have a good rest tonight." Elena's expression was slightly stunned. Then she showed a look of joy. The great Lord of Holy Light really likes her. Elena nodded her head quickly and said, "I listened to the Lord." Lin Yu grinned and took the gentle and beautiful 6-winged angel to the 2nd floor, washing and bathing in one go. Just as Lin Yu was exploring the angel-restricted area, he suddenly discovered something very magical. It turned out that the wings behind the angels could not only be posed in various shapes, but also retracted into the body. According to Elena's intermittent narration, Lin Yu also learned that fallen angels also have this ability, and after the fallen angels are promoted to gods, their huge bodies can shrink and grow freely. Well, this is good news. Chapter 168. The next day, Lin Yu woke up and felt refreshed. However, it was the ancient elf Doris who helped him dress and wash. After a few days of nourishment, the ancient elf became more and more sexy, and her delicate and charming cheeks seemed to be radiant and breathtakingly beautiful. Of course, Eleanor was no less. This beautiful and holy 6-winged angel, like a hard-working little bee, left the bedroom early in the morning to prepare breakfast for Lin Yu. After breakfast, Lin Yu came to the lobby on the 1st floor. As expected, a large amount of spoils were piled up in the lobby again. All of them were harvested from last night's night battle. There were more than 200,000 gold coins alone. There were also more than 600 pieces of equipment, more than 100 blueprints, and a large number of green packages containing spiritual rice seeds. After dealing with these spoils, Lin Yu had 400,000 gold coins in his hand, which he used to summon angels again. A total of 14 fully staffed angel legions were summoned. So far, he has 59 fully staffed angel legions under his command. Perhaps it was because the Hell Manager named Astra had an outburst yesterday and reached a peace agreement with several indescribable supreme beings. As a result, about 1/3 of the fallen angels appeared in Lin Yu's summons this time. There are 4 fully staffed fallen angel legions. So far, among the 59 angel legions under Lin Yu's command, 50 are holy angel legions and 9 are fallen angel legions. The total number of angels has reached an astonishing 30,000. It is comparable to the largest, Forest Troll Legion, in the territory. At the same time, the number of people under Lin Yu's command has officially reached 100,000. Among them, about 80,000 people are Legion warriors. They will participate in the war day and night. As for the remaining 20,000 people, they are responsible for handling the daily work of the territory and serving as logistics support personnel for each legion. The so-called logistics support. In fact, it is to make food such as dried meat. This kind of thing is not done by the combat legion. After all, if there is so much time, it is better to go to the wild and kill more wild monsters. Therefore, these tasks have to be handed over to ordinary people. While they are protected and do not have to go out to fight, they also have to do their due labor. In addition, transporting the corpses of the hunted monsters back to the territory is also one of their work contents. No special angels appeared in this summoning. Lin Yu felt a little regretful, but not much. Summoning 14 full-scale angel legions at a time, what else is he not satisfied with? Other territorial professionals on the island, let alone summoning so many legions at once, may not be able to gather 2 fully staffed legions, even if they turn their entire territory over. Let's put aside the war strength. Just in terms of the size of the military legions, Lin Yu is already dozens or even hundreds of times larger than other lord professionals. Another thing is his own level. In just one night, His level has been promoted from the early king level to the late king level, just like riding a rocket. If nothing goes wrong, I will be promoted to the extraordinary level today. It will be the holy level in a few days, then I will be a demigod. Lin Yu took a deep breath. This imagination made him feel that he was very close to becoming an immortal god. At this moment, a beautiful figure walked into the Lord's hall. She walked slowly. Her temperament was elegant, sacred, and calm. It was as if nothing could make her feel worried or have negative emotions. The huge pair of flowing wings behind her made her look infinitely noble. Looking at the entire territory, a total of 30,000 angels, whether holy or fallen. Except for his secretarian, no angel has such a temperament. In Lin Yu's eyes, it seems that as long as Angelica is there, he doesn't have to worry about anything. Therefore, every time he sees Angelica, Lin Yu's mood will become very good. My lord. Angelica walked close to Lin Yu. She crossed her hands and placed them on her full chest. She lowered her head slightly and said respectfully, "The various legions in the territory have gone out hunting, and I am also going to find those monsters hidden in the mountains and forests. I came here specially. I'll tell you." "Yes," Lin Yu nodded and said with a smile, "You and the hunting team will have to work harder these days. You must kill enough monsters to drive the Angel City. It's not hard." Angelia shook her head and said, "It's Angelia's honor to serve you." Elena, who was standing behind Lin Yu, also agreed. Angels are the Lord's creation. Serving the Lord is their duty. How can it be hard? They will only be proud of it. On the other hand, if the Lord doesn't need them anymore, that would be their most desperate thing. Just like the great change tens of millions of years ago. The entire Lord's domain, countless angels, were shrouded in despair. That was the darkest era experienced by the angels. Even a large number of holy angels and even the 18-winged dark angels fell because of fear. Fall. Fortunately, they finally waited for the Lord's call. Who knows? From the beginning to the end, there has never been an option of angel in the types of troops in the floating island of all worlds. They just appeared when they should appear. Even the world rules of the floating island cannot stop them. At this time, Elena on the side suddenly said, "My lord, after last night's practice, a total of 14 angels have achieved blood evolution. 3 of them have evolved into 6-winged angels, and the others have evolved into 4-winged angels." Hearing this, Lin Yu smiled brightly. It was just as he had guessed. With the increase of practice time, the spiritual field will help more and more angels to evolve. In addition, when Doris came back last night, she also told him that the evolution of Carol and other dark elves was all successful. Although they failed to awaken their bloodline, becoming ancient great elves. But their own growth potential has also reached the level of demigods. As long as enough enemies are killed, promotion to demigods is a sure thing. For the dark elves in the tribe, this is a news worth celebrating. Doris was also very excited and very active all night. Now, more than a dozen angels have successfully evolved. Lin Yu was naturally in a good mood. He smiled and said casually, "Although the goddess of luck is not in the same camp as us, she obviously still loves me." Hearing this, Elena was stunned. Angelia was also suspicious and thought to herself, "Hey, Langlin is actually attached to the creator of my angel clan? When did this happen? How come I don't know about it? But my lord is the most majestic. Even if it's true, it's not surprising." Chapter 169. After Angelica, Elena, and the sexy and charming ancient elf Doris left, Lin Yu was the only one left in the Lord's Hall. However, the territory was no longer empty. Instead, it was very lively. Because in addition to the ordinary residents who set out with the army, there were nearly 10,000 residents in the territory. Some of them were decomposing monster corpses in the square of the territory. Some were helping the craftsmen Angel Carol and Marion to build the Angel City. In addition, there were dense knocking sounds in the blacksmith shop. Compared with a few days ago, Lin Yu's territory is much more lively now. As for the prosperity of the territory, it has reached more than 100,000 points. Let alone upgrading the town. I am afraid that even upgrading the town is enough. Lin Yu walked out of the Lord's Hall. He did not disturb Carol and Marion, but visited the Angel City under construction accompanied by several dark elves. A city with a length and width of 8,000 meters. When they walked in, the figures of several people were as small as ants on the ground. And you can see that in the Angel City, in addition to the 12-winged angel statue that is more than 700 meters high, there are a large number of various buildings. After the introduction of several dark elves, Lin Yu also knew the purpose of those buildings. Some are war bases for producing various war weapons. Some are angel training bases. Some are accommodation areas. There are also some buildings with special uses, such as meetings, prayers, teleportation, etc. In short, Angel City is not only a war weapon for the angels, but also a real city for living, with all kinds of facilities. Such a city can easily carry 100,000 angels. Hearing Lin Yu's words, a dark elf behind him said respectfully, reporting to the great Lord of Holy Light, Lord Carol once said that such a small angel city can be equipped with a large angel army. Lin Yu nodded. According to the scale of the angel army, a large angel army is composed of 100 small angel armies, a total of more than 50,000 angels. Its legion leader is a 10-winged angel. This is the legion configuration. Above the legion is a real army. A full-scale angel army is composed of 10 large angel armies, with more than 500,000 angels, led by 12 winged angels. Such a large army requires at least a medium-sized angel city to carry. Just imagine, a war city loaded with angel armies crossing the void and descending on the enemy's head. How shocking would that scene be? Although Lin Yu cannot build a medium-sized angel city now, because the number of craftsman angels is not enough. However, he can build a small angel city. And it takes 5 days to build one. I believe that as long as he continues to develop the power of the territory, it won't take long for him to see such a scene. After visiting the Angel City, Lin Yu came to the spiritual field outside the territory again. The first batch of spiritual rice planted has matured. A total of 20,000 units. When he cast his eyes on the golden spiritual rice, the following information prompt appeared in his mind. Do you want to harvest a mature spiritual rice? Yes. No. Lin Yu immediately chose yes. Suddenly, the golden spiritual rice disappeared. The harvested spiritual rice was stored in his territory warehouse in the blink of an eye. With the help of the power of the floating island rules, no matter what he did, it was very simple. Let's have egg fried rice for lunch today. The rice is spiritual rice. The eggs are eggs of flying beasts. They come from a flying beast of the extraordinary realm that Angelica killed yesterday. There are 5 eggs in total, each of which is huge. With various seasonings, it must taste very good. Lin Yu is going to call back the 6-winged angel Elena at noon. He is now more and more satisfied with Elena's cooking skills. Then, Lin Yu planted the 170 spiritual rice seeds he brought into the spiritual field. After doing all this, he went to the corner of the spiritual field, the planting area of the 2 demon plants. After a day, the 2 demon plants have undergone very big changes. The first is the black bone blood vine. It has grown to more than 30 meters high, like a huge blood tree. Lin Yu checked its information and found that its growth potential limit had reached the extraordinary realm. As expected of a demon plant that claims to eat the corpse of a god, the immortal flower is nothing compared to it. It has just eaten the skeleton of a green dragon and has achieved evolution, and it looks like the evolution is not over yet. The reason for this is that Lin Yu found that the body of the black bone blood vine is always emitting blood light, and the aura is slowly increasing. This is obviously a sign that the evolution is not over yet. As for the growth time of the black bone blood vine, there are only less than 8 days left. On the other side, the immortal flower has also grown to more than 5 meters high. The big round face in the middle of a circle of golden petals looks lifelike. The growth time of the immortal flower has also become a single digit, and it is shorter than the growth time of the black bone blood vine. It will mature in another 5 days. The reason is that it eats the souls of green dragons and a large number of wild monsters. The growth rate is very rapid. Very good, keep up the hard work. I look forward to the day when you leave the spiritual field. Lin Yu praised the 2 demon plants generously, and then left the spiritual field. After he left, the 2 demon plants had another extremely fierce confrontation. A flower sister. A little vine sister. They argued over who would be the first to sign a contract with a master. In the end, of course, it was the flower sister who declared victory. Because your maturity period is shorter. The little vine sister who could not argue was very angry, and the violent genes in her body boiled again, so that there was a surge of bloodlight gushing out, completely covering her body. Seeing this scene, the immortal flower was completely confused. Why is this happening? If you can't fight, evolve. Come and fight me. I'll give you a chance, the immortal flower screamed, and envy made her face distorted. Including this time, The Black Bone Bloodvine has evolved twice. And she, the legendary guardian of the gate of the underworld, has not evolved once. Is it because she has never lost a verbal battle? If so, she would rather be beaten to pieces by the little vine sister. After a long time, the mutation ended. The bloodlight faded, revealing the tall body of the Black Bone Bloodvine with countless tentacles. She succeeded again. The growth potential limit was raised to the peak of the holy level, just like the immortal flower. In fact, its evolution this time has nothing to do with its inability to fight the immortal flower. It is mainly because it ate the green dragon and a large number of extraordinary monsters. Before this, she had already evolved. This time, after a full meal, the energy in her body surged and the blood boiled, coupled with the stimulation of the immortal flower. So it exploded again. The immortal flower bared its teeth. Little Sister Tang, do you have any secrets? HMPH, the Black Bone Bloodvine shook its countless tentacled branches. During this period, it was bullied by the immortal flower. Now that it also has the potential to grow to the peak of the saint level, it is no longer afraid, and said very proudly, "What secret is there? This is the racial talent, damn it." The immortal flower was so angry that its branches trembled. It wanted to beat the Black Bone Bloodvine. But now, whether it can beat it is a question. What if it stimulates the Black Bone Bloodvine to evolve 3 times and become a semi-god level demon plant? Where can she go to complain? So in the end, she chose to swallow her anger. She hid aside by herself. While absorbing the special substances in the spiritual field space, she was sulking. Time passed quickly and it was noon. Just when Lin Yu was instructing the 6-winged angel Elena how to make fried rice with eggs. More than 200 kilometers away from his territory. More than 30 huge figures flew from the distant sky. They were the mountain giant team from the Giant Kingdom, led by 3 saints, and the others were all mountain giants of the extraordinary realm. Their average body size reached 18 meters. A true giant body. With their strength, crossing more than 1,000 kilometers in one night was already very slow. This was mainly because they were not in a hurry. They stopped and walked in the giant tribes along the way, and hammered to death many undead creatures that drilled out from the underground world, which delayed them for a long time. Otherwise, they would have arrived at their destination long ago. And their destination this time was the territory of the Green Dragon Aldrich. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170. The King of the Kingdom of Giants was very happy. Aldrich is one of the pure-blooded 5-color evil dragons. It is a poisonous dragon, and its body is full of poison, including the dragon breath in its body. It comes from the 36 islands. 40 years ago, it broke into the territory of our giant kingdom. His Majesty saw that it was sincere, so he did not expel it, and he gave it a mountain range as a habitat. A mountain giant in the late Saint stage said, "If it is really the murderer who destroyed those affiliated tribes, then don't blame us for being ruthless." Just like the elder said, "Just peel off its dragon skin, okay?" The other 2 mountain giants in the Saint stage nodded. The 3 of them. 1 late Saint, 2 mid-Saint. It was not difficult to kill a mid-Saint green dragon. Although the dragon clan was a highly intelligent creature, standing at the top of the extraordinary world, their mountain giant clan was not much worse. The 3 saints joined forces and tore a green dragon apart easily. The late Saint mountain giant said again, "Aldrich has 7 more extraordinary beasts under his command. We will kill them together when the time comes, so that they will not cause trouble to the surrounding tribes." Okay, the other 2 saint giants also agreed. In fact, for them, whether it was executing Green Dragon Aldrich or killing those extraordinary beasts, it was a trivial matter. They just wanted to complete this task quickly. Then return to the giant kingdom. The distance of 100 kilometers passed in a flash. The 3 Saint Mountain Giants, with 30 or 40 extraordinary mountain giants, soon arrived at the territory of Green Dragon Aldrich. However, the scene they saw next made them feel incredible. The jungle and mountains within a radius of tens of thousands of meters were dead silent. Not to mention high-level wild monsters, even weak low-level monsters were not seen. It was as if all monsters were extinct. What happened? Did Aldrich evacuate all the magic beasts and wild monsters under his command? It is possible, It is possible that Aldrich evacuated all his men because he was worried about being punished by our giant kingdom. No, at this time. The mountain giant in the late Saint rank suddenly said, they did not evacuate, but were killed. There are traces of battles in many places in this area. Look at the fallen ancient tree. It was obviously cut off by the sword light, and the cut is very smooth. And over there are hills that have been smashed, and rocks are flying everywhere, after advancing for several thousand meters. The traces of battle in the jungle are more obvious. Ancient tree branches can be seen everywhere. Most importantly, there is a faint smell of blood floating in the air. The mountain giants smelled it very keenly. There must be a big chaos here, the mountain giant in the late Saint rank said immediately. Let's go to the sleeping mountain of Aldrich. Okay, the other mountain giants did not hesitate. They flew quickly towards the destination. A moment later, the scene in front of them made them all look dazed. The sleeping place of Green Dragon Aldrich should have been a mountain as high as 1,000 meters, but now it has completely collapsed and turned into a rubble ruin. And in the center of the rubble ruins, there is also a huge cave, which is the Dragon Cave. In the Dragon Cave, there are a lot of dazzling gems. This is the treasure of the Green Dragon. Represents the preferences and identity of the dragon. But now, the treasure of the dragon is still there, but the dragon is gone. This is a very serious problem. A group of mountain giants flew into the cave. After a while, the mountain giant in the late Saint stage found a stone stained with dragon blood in the cave. He said with a serious expression, "This is dragon blood, it must come from Aldrich. It is likely that it was killed by someone, including the extraordinary magic beasts and wild monsters under its command. All were killed." Hiss. The mountain giants took a deep breath. Deep in their hearts, they couldn't help but feel a sense of horror. Although they came to execute Green Dragon Aldrich, it was completely different to kill him by them, and Green Dragon Aldrich died in the hands of others. It was able to kill the Green Dragon, and also slaughter the magic beasts and wild monsters in the area of tens of thousands of meters. This shows that the enemy's strength is very terrible. And it is very likely that the Legion committed the crime. A mountain giant in the middle stage of the Holy Order said in doubt, could it be that the other three forces sent strong men and legions to invade our kingdom's territory? The possibility is very low. Even the Lich in the White Bone Temple doesn't have the courage to go to war with our giant kingdom. It's not a war. I think it's likely that the Green Dragon Aldrich was arrogant and offended one of the three forces, and they sent a legion to destroy him. After the war, they quickly evacuated. This is not impossible. At this time, the leading mountain giant in the late stage of the Holy Order suddenly frowned and said, there is a very pure, sacred and bright breath in the Dragon Cave. Logically speaking, this breath should not appear here. Maybe it floated in from the outside world, from between heaven and earth. You are really smart. A mountain giant in the later stage of the Holy Step flipped his eyes and said very firmly, the murderer has nothing to do with the three forces. Kilometers, just to kill a green dragon? Unless it is Aldrich's boldness and blasphemy of their belief. I refer to the bright forces of rich places, but the Lord of the world. This is even more impossible. His strength is so powerful that he can kill Aldrich. Aldrich, pure blood poisonous dragon. If he is a head-to-head, he cannot say a steady victory as a holy step. Even if they were on the goblin's airship, it would not be possible to develop so fast. Whether it is true or not, we will know after searching once. The mountain giant in the late Saint rank said, search the surrounding jungles and mountains. If the murderer is the lord of another world, then he will definitely leave traces. Okay then, each of us will lead a small team, and it will be faster to search separately. Are you so impatient to meet the true God Titan? The mountain giant in the late Saint rank said unhappily, if the team is scattered, once you encounter the murderer who killed Aldrich, won't you too be in danger? I believe in my strength. Don't talk nonsense. Listen to me. It's okay to be slow, but we must act together. The mountain giant in the late Saint rank was tough. Seeing this, the other two Saint rank giants didn't say anything more. After a while, the team flew high again. These mountain giants began to search the nearby mountains and jungles with a green dragon Aldrich's territory as the center. Finally, after more than an hour, they made a new discovery. Chapter 171. The battle was fierce, and the enemy was in a state of panic. Dozens of mountain giants stood in the sky a few kilometers away, overlooking a dense jungle in the distance. You can hear the angry roar of monsters in the jungle. At the same time, you can see that there is a bright holy light erupting in the jungle. As the battle entered a white-hot stage, large tracts of ancient trees were cut off, and hills were destroyed, and soon a very wide flat battlefield appeared. On the battlefield, there were 3 monsters of the extraordinary realm. Dozens of king-level wild monsters. Their opponents were 9 beautiful and holy figures. Although these holy creatures did not have an advantage in numbers, they were all of the extraordinary level and had very strong combat power. In just a short moment, all the king-level wild monsters were killed. In the end, only 3 extraordinary beasts were left to survive. But it was obvious that they could not hold on for long. Sure enough, in less than 10 minutes, the 3 extraordinary beasts were killed one by those holy figures, and the magic cores in their bodies were also taken out. Pure divine and bright breath, they are the murderers who killed Green Dragon Aldrich. Is it them? A mountain giant in the middle stage of Saint Rank said suspiciously. There are only 9 of them, and they are all in the early and middle stages of Transcendent. There is no way they can kill Aldrich, who controls the domain, not to mention killing all the magic beasts and wild monsters under Aldrich. Even if they can split themselves, it won't work. Can you not be so stupid? The mountain giant in the late stage of Saint Rank felt a headache, but still explained, I mean, the forces behind them destroyed Aldrich's territory, not just these few people. The mountain giant in the middle stage of Saint Rank said dissatisfiedly, you didn't explain it clearly, and you blame me. There was silence for a long time. Another mountain giant in the middle stage of the Saint Rank suddenly said, what race are they? This is the first time I've seen them, but I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. They are obviously not winged people, nor are they swan people from the orc tribe. I feel like I've seen them somewhere too. The mountain giant in the late stage of the Saint Rank searched for memories in his mind. Finally, he seemed to remember something, and said in shock, yes. In the ancient books of our kingdom, there is a record of a legendary race that looks very similar to them. What race? Angels, the mountain giant in the late Saint Rank said. Although this race has never appeared in our world, their reputation has long been spread from the battlefield of all realms. Angels are all sacred creatures. They possess the purest sacred and light power and are born holy spirits. They are beautiful in appearance, arrogant in character, extreme in doing things, and believe in the Creator who created light in all things. Angels all have wings on their backs. The more wings there are, the higher the status and the stronger the strength. Legend has it that the angel clan has 718 winged archangels, all of whom are supreme creatures at the level of god kings, and each of them can compete with the powerful racial rulers of the battlefield of all realms. Hiss! The mountain giants present took a breath of cold air. If the legend is true, then their mountain giants are no different from ants in front of the angels. A mountain giant said in horror, how could such a terrifying race appear in our world? Do they even like such a broken and shattered world? I don't know. The mountain giant in the late saint stage shook his head, and then said, but apart from angels, I can't find any other race that is so similar to them. What should we do now? Retreat directly. Can't retreat. The mountain giant in the late saint stage said with a serious expression, the angels are extreme in their actions. Any creature who refuses to submit and believe in their creator will be regarded as a heretic by them. Since they have come to this world, they will go to war with their kingdom sooner or later. One more thing. It is very likely that there are only a few angels who have come to this world. After all, if it is the legendary angel army that has come, then they will not surround and kill a few monsters, but will attack our world in an all-out way. After a moment of silence, the mountain giant in the late saint stage continued, these angels should be summoned by a lord from another world, and the strength of that territory has not yet fully grown. So what? We must strike first. The mountain giant in the late Saint Rank said, once the lord of the other world summons more angels, it will be a disaster. The elder's right, we must nip the thread in the bud, suppress these angels, then destroy the territory of the lord of the other world, prevent the possibility of more angels coming to the world. Understood? The mountain giants nodded one after another. Afterwards, they did not hesitate at all. Under the leadership of 3 Saint Rank masters, dozens of mountain giants in the extraordinary realm flew towards the distant jungle battlefield at high speed like heavy artillery shells. This scene was first discovered by a 6-winged angel in the jungle. The expression on the cold face was slightly stunned. Then he shouted softly, "Enemy attack!" Hearing this, the other angels on the battlefield also reacted instantly. They gathered together. Then they waved the angel sword in their hands without hesitation, slashing out dazzling holy sword lights at the mountain giants flying at high speed in the distance. Swish, swish, swish. Dense sword lights burst out. The terrifying energy directly distorted the void. This moment shocked all the mountain giants present, including the 3 holy mountain giants in the lead. They all showed horror on their faces. Titan supremacy. Is this a supernatural attack? If you don't know, you would think they are all holy creatures. Even if they are not holy, they are all supernatural and invincible. It's worthy of being a legendary race. While speaking, the 3 holy mountain giants did not hesitate at all and immediately released their own domain worlds. 3 earth yellow domains appeared out of thin air. All the holy sword lights that were slashed were intercepted. Bang, 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 bang. Under the influence of the domain power, these sword lights lasted for a few seconds before they collapsed. The mountain giants behind them were so scared that their faces were distorted. Once such a powerful sword light hit them, it would definitely cut them in half. Fortunately, they had 3 saint-level strongmen leading the team. Otherwise, these dozens of people would not be enough for the angels to chop. At the same time, on the jungle battlefield, the angels did not evacuate, but protected themselves with holy light shields, prepared to fight hard. Among them, a 6-winged angel suddenly waved a scepter in his hand and opened a holy light gate in midair. Seeing this, the other angels all looked puzzled. The 6-winged angel explained, there are 3 saint-level strongmen in the enemy team. Summoning Lady Angelica can wipe out all these heretics. Good idea, the angels praised. Soon, as the gate of holy light opened, an elegant and noble figure slowly walked out of the gate of light. Chapter 172. The 2 of them were so busy that they had to face each other. Lady Angelia, seeing the elegant figure coming out of the light gate, the angels present immediately saluted respectfully with respect in their eyes. Angelia nodded slightly, cast her eyes on a group of mountain giants flying in the distance, and whispered, the speed is quite fast, but it's a pity that they are not demigods. If it were demigods, she could still handle it with some effort. After all, she is now a saint and has mastered the domain. In a flash, the mountain giant team came to 300 meters away, but did not continue to approach, but stopped in the air 100 meters high. What skill is that? Teleportation magic circle. Dimensional gate, whatever the skill is. They summoned an 8-winged angel of the saint level. She must have killed Green Dragon Aldrich. A mountain giant in the middle saint level said, this 8-winged angel is only at the early saint level. We should be able to beat her with 3 against 1. Right, not necessarily. If it is the ancestral titan, 3 against 1 will definitely be no problem. There was a moment of silence. The mountain giant in the late saint level took a deep breath and said, talk to her first, and then start a war if we can't reach an agreement. At that time, we must kill her even if we risk our lives. Okay, the other 2 saint-level mountain giants also nodded. At this moment, they felt bitter. They also regretted it a little. If they had known that the enemy was the legendary holy angel, they should have brought more helpers. As descendants of the Titans, they were never afraid of fighting. They are not afraid of death. They are only worried that they can't solve the problem once and for all. Once the enemy's power grows, it may not be a green dragon that dies, but millions of people in their kingdom. Sir, at a distance of 300 meters, the mountain giant of the late Saint stage said in a thunderous voice, this area is the ruling territory of our mountain giant kingdom. You should not be here, Angelia said with a faint expression, the Supreme Lord created light. Where the light shines is the domain of the Creator. You heretics, occupying a corner of the Lord's domain to establish a kingdom, should be punished. The mountain giant of the late Saint stage suppressed the anger in his heart and said, as long as you angels evacuate this area, our kingdom can pretend that the previous things have never happened, including the fact that you destroyed more than 20 affiliated tribes of my kingdom, mortal creatures like ants. Angelia stepped into the air and said in a cold voice, I will also give you a chance to redeem yourself. Believe in the great Lord of Holy Light, and you can get eternal life. The mountain giant of the late Saint stage was furious. There was no way to have a good chat? These angels are indeed as arrogant and extreme as recorded in ancient books. In their eyes, all intelligent creatures who do not believe in the holy light are heretics. Even the descendants of the Titans are no exception. No face at all. He roared, Sir, do you want to start a racial war? Countless years ago, the powerful void demons were driven out of this world by us, and you angels will not be an exception. These words. The expression on Angelica's beautiful face turned slightly cold. As if thinking of something unpleasant, he said coldly, ungrateful ants. You should have been killed by those reptiles back then. If it weren't for the mercy of my lord, Angelica didn't continue. She stretched out her right hand and gently grabbed the void in front of her. Suddenly, hundreds of meters away, the void shook violently, as if it was about to collapse. And in fact, the void did collapse the next moment. The scene was like a broken mirror. Layers of void collapsed one after another. The 30 or 40 mountain giants of the extraordinary realm in that area didn't even have time to scream before their tall giant bodies were cut into pieces by the collapsing void. Damn it, the power of space! She controls the domain of space attributes. The three holy mountain giants were immediately horrified. Originally, their team was spectacular, with nearly 40 people. In the blink of an eye, only the three of them were left. How could they not be horrified? The most important thing is the enemy was an 8-winged angel who controlled the space domain. This made them even more horrified. The domain of space attribute was much more difficult to comprehend than the domain of other attributes. Not only was it rare, but its lethality was also extremely terrifying. Just like the 8-winged angel in front of them, he didn't even release his domain, but simply relied on the control of space power to kill their men hundreds of meters away. Moreover, the speed was so fast and the attack method was so strange that they couldn't prepare for defense in advance. Fortunately, the three of them were all saint-level strongmen, and they released their domains as soon as they sensed the crisis. Although they were a step slower and failed to protect those extraordinary mountain giants. But at least, the three of them survived. She has the power of space and can move instantly. We are not as fast as her. There is no way to evacuate. We can only fight hard. Did we win? There is hope. Our chance of winning is as high as 50%. This is good news. The two mountain giants in the middle stage of the saint rank breathed a sigh of relief. And the fighting spirit was boiling immediately. The next moment, three tall saint rank giants rushed straight to Angelica and quickly enveloped Angelica with the domain world. The domain attribute of the mountain giant. 10 times the power increase. And 100 to 10,000 times the gravity bonus. The former is to increase their physical strength tenfold. The latter is the gravity of the skyrocketing domain world, which is a passive attack imposed on the enemy. As long as the enemy enters their domain world, it will be squeezed by the terrifying gravity immediately. The weaker ones will be squeezed into a ball of flesh and blood on the spot. At this moment, the domain worlds of the three saint-level giants overlapped. The gravity in the domain was even more terrifying. Even a big mountain would be squeezed into a small hill. However, Angelica, who is in the domain, seemed to be unaffected by gravity. The corners of her clothes fluttered lightly, and her expression was indifferent. She has the space domain to protect her body, standing in another void, and gravity has no effect on her. Let's go together and besiege her. The three violent saint-level mountain giants rushed towards Angelica in an instant. Their weapons were all giant hammers. 10 times the power, plus the increase in gravity. 3 hammers smashed down. Even if the green dragon Aldrich was resurrected, he would have to die again. The terrifying energy fluctuations roared. A circle of ripples like fine waves were set off around Angelica. Just as the mountain giant said. Angelica's body was protected by the power of space. Those circles of ripples were the strange phenomena presented by the distortion of space. Imprisoned, facing the 3 violent hammers, Angelica just stretched out a slender fingertip and lightly touched the void in front of her. In an instant, the vast power of space gushed out, directly imprisoning the 3 holy mountain giants in place, including the secret gold hammers in their hands. Annihilation, bang bang bang. A series of explosions sounded. The 3 secret gold hammers exploded into pieces in an instant. Only the 3 holy mountain giants were left stiff in place. They couldn't move. They couldn't shout. They could only communicate with their spiritual consciousness. The 2 middle stage holy mountain giants sent messages to the late stage holy mountain giant. Didn't you just say that the winning rate is as high as 50%? How did you lose in an instant? Yes, I'm right. 50% probability, either victory or defeat. The 2 saint-level mountain giants lost their temper immediately. If there is still a chance to leave alive, they will definitely join forces to beat this guy up. At this moment, a brilliant holy light enveloped the 3 of them. The power of faith contained in the holy light directly invaded their minds and souls. Be careful. This is the faith magic of the angel clan, which can force creatures to believe in their Lord of Holy Light. Isn't she a war-type angel? According to ancient books, those who are good at faith magic are those angels holding divine staffs. Why bother? Concentrate your mind, strengthen your will, and protect your soul. Even the legendary holy angels can't make us abandon the great Titan God. The 3 saint-level mountain giants roared wildly in the sea of consciousness, trying to resist the invasion of the magic of faith with his indestructible will. I have to say, the will of the mountain giant is indeed very firm. Especially to the Titan ancestors, they are extremely loyal. Even when Angelia took action, it took a full 3 seconds to purify them. I wanted to kill you, but the great Lord of Holy Light is a merciful and loving Lord. So, I will give you a chance to redeem yourself, return to the giant kingdom, and fetch the magic cores stored in your kingdom for my lord. Yes, Lord Saint, as the power of space confinement dissipated. The 3 holy mountain giants who resumed their actions immediately knelt in the air without hesitation. With piety and reverence on their faces, they praised the merciful Creator. Chapter 173. After the 3 mountain giants left, Angelica returned to the jungle battlefield. She put the bodies of the monsters and wild monsters into the Skeleton King's belt. Unfortunately, mountain giants are different from monsters. They have magic vortexes in their bodies. They don't have magic cores. Otherwise, Angelica would have killed dozens of mountain giants in the extraordinary realm in seconds and got dozens of magic cores. My lord, facing Angelica, all the angels present saluted with great respect. Angelica nodded slightly and said, "You continue to hunt in this area. If you encounter danger, you can summon me through the Holy Light Gate. The gate of the Lord's domain has just opened. There are not many powerful angels under the Lord of Holy Light. When a large number of angels of higher status descend, she will not have to run around like this. She can always guard the Lord of Holy Light." "Yes, Lord Angelica," the angels saluted again respectfully. Angelica did not stay for long, and her figure disappeared out of thin air. This is space teleportation, the ability extension after mastering the power of space. In addition, there are space confinement, space annihilation, etc., which are all skills of space attributes. The power of space not only has a variety of attack methods that make the enemy defenseless, but also has extremely powerful power. At the saint level, generally speaking, mastering the power of space is invincible. Of course, Angelica's unparalleled fighting power has nothing to do with whether she has mastered the power of space. Even if she has not comprehended space, she is still very strong. I don't know how long it took. Until hundreds of kilometers away from the incident area, the 3 mountain giants of the saint level stopped. Then, the 2 mountain giants of the middle saint level beat the mountain giant of the late saint level together. The power of faith did not distort the essence of their souls. Putting aside faith, they are still mountain giants with bad tempers and grudges. I give you a 50% chance to beat him, damn it. How dare you rebel against your superiors? Soon, the 3 mountain giants started a big melee. Like a bulldozer. I don't know how many mountains were flattened. There were also large tracts of ancient trees and a large number of wild monsters affected. I felt very aggrieved until I died. This chaos lasted until the afternoon. The 3 mountain giants all became bruised and swollen, and walked with a limp. After venting, they felt much better. One of the mountain giants in the middle stage of the saint rank said, "All our elite teams were killed. We have to think of a perfect reason, otherwise we can't explain it to the great elder. Let's say that when we were fighting Aldrich, they were unfortunately sprayed to death by the dragon's breath. This reason is definitely not okay." The mountain giant in the late stage of the saint rank rubbed his sore arm and said, "The 3 of us joined forces and let the elite team be destroyed by Aldrich. This is not in line with the actual situation. Besides, with our strength, we can definitely kill Aldrich. Now, we don't have a corpse, and we haven't peeled off its dragon skin. Return empty-handed. It's hard for the great elder to believe what we say." After a pause, he said to one of the middle stage saint-level mountain giants, "Don't return to the kingdom for now. I will tell the great elder that we were ambushed by Aldrich. It is not a single dragon. There are 3 other saint-level giant dragons hiding in its territory. During the battle, you and the elite team all died. Only Aguchi and I broke out of the siege." The elder has to believe this explanation. It makes sense. The mountain giant in the middle stage of the Holy Order nodded and said, "Then I'll listen to you. The mission of the Holy Envoy is handed over to you too. During this time, I will go to other giant tribes and collect all the magic cores they have in reserve. Although I don't know what the great Lord of Holy Light will do with the magic cores, the more the better. Praise the Holy Light." The mountain giant in the late stage of the Holy Order looked pious, and then said, "The power of faith has made you much smarter. Thank you for the favor of the Lord of Holy Light." The mountain giant in the middle stage of the Holy Order was speechless. At this time, the A mountain giant named Aguchi frowned and said, "If this reason is given, the Great Elder will definitely be very angry. There is a high probability that more kingdom powerhouses will be sent to kill Aldrich. Once they find out that Aldrich has already fallen, we will be exposed." "Don't worry," the mountain giant in the late Saint rank said, "as long as we are fast enough and get the magic core stored in the kingdom's treasury, the mission will be completed. It doesn't matter even if we are exposed at that time. We can even join a new team and find a way to bring them to see the Holy Envoy. Then, they will have a chance to follow me." Like the light, it makes sense. It makes sense. Fighting and faith in the Master of the Great Holy Light can make our ethnic group more glorious. In fact, the loyalty of the giants is very firm in the Titan family. But the belief in divine arts made them abandon everything before. Embrace the light wholeheartedly. This is the angel, a terrifying race specializing in the fields of war and faith. Especially in the field of faith. Basically no race can compete with the angels. In the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds, the goddess of light is a god with terrible divine power. The light camp under her command is also powerful, fanatical in faith and extreme in doing things. It is precisely because they have inherited the fine traditions of the angels. This is also difficult for other races to do. Here in the territory, Angelica's figure appeared out of thin air. After separating from the hunting team, she went straight back to the territory. Angelica, Lin Yu was sleeping on a recliner at the door of the Lord's Hall in the sun. Seeing Secretary Yin who suddenly returned, he asked in confusion, "Why are you back? Report to my lord." Angelica told the whole story of what happened just now. Well done. After hearing this, Lin Yu was immediately delighted. Chapter 174. The truth is that the king of the kingdom is not as good as the king of the kingdom of. For example, in the dragon cave of the green dragon, Angelica found dozens of magic cores, because the green dragon's level was as high as the saint level, and it was not difficult to kill the monster. And the giant kingdom is full of strong people. In one mission, 3 saint-level strong people and dozens of extraordinary professionals were dispatched. Such a powerful force must have killed a large number of monsters. Over time, the number of magic cores in reserve in the giant kingdom must be very large. Once this plan succeeds, Lin Yu will have enough magic cores to drive the Angel City, borrowing the resources of the hostile forces to attack the hostile forces. It has to be said, this deal is a sure win. Angelica said respectfully, "My lord is wise. As long as the 3 mountain giant believers bring back the magic cores, the Angel City will definitely sweep the entire dark forest, at most 3 more days." The Angel City, built by the craftsmen Angel Carol and Marion, can be completed. They are now carving runes for the Angel City. Once it is built, it will require a huge amount of energy to supply the war. Although the hunting team has been desperately killing monsters and collecting magic cores in the past 2 days, the efficiency is not high. Because compared with the wild monsters that can be seen everywhere, the number of monsters is very small. How many can be killed in such a short time? Maybe the Angel City has been built, and the number of monsters collected is not enough to cross thousands of miles to attack the giant kingdom. Therefore, Lin Yu and Angelica both expect the 3 saint-level mountain giants to complete this plan perfectly. Yet, Lin Yu nodded. Just as he was about to say something, his expression suddenly changed. There was astonishment and surprise. Because a huge source of energy emerged in his body without any signs. This means that he is about to be promoted again. Last night, his level reached a late king level. Today, there are up to 80,000 soldiers in the territory hunting in the wild world. Angelica killed dozens of mountain giants in the extraordinary realm at once not long ago. The source energy accumulated in his body has reached the critical point of breakthrough. At the same time, a message from Floating Island of 10,000 Worlds appeared in his mind. "Congratulations, Lord Lin Yu, your reserve of source energy has reached the standard for promotion to extraordinary professionals. The number of soldiers under your command who have killed more than 10 enemies in the extraordinary realm, you are about to be promoted to extraordinary." Instantly, a sharp pain appeared. It was the source energy in his body that was violently tearing his body apart. Skin, flesh, bones, cells. All round strengthening. No dead corners left. Including that indescribable part is also being strengthened. This process is extremely painful. Fortunately, Lin Yu had already gotten used to it. He gritted his teeth and persisted without shouting. Although he was trembling and sweating, he did not lose the face of the Lord of Holy Light in front of Angelica. I don't know how long it took. Finally, the pain in his body gradually disappeared. Then a gentle force surged through his body, making him feel like drinking sweet spring water, very comfortable. At the same time, the aura emanating from Lin Yu was at least 10 times stronger than before. The difference between the power of the extraordinary and the king level is very large. The most obvious feature is that one can fly and the other cannot. Extraordinary, beyond the ordinary. You can travel in the clouds with physical strength alone, which is something that ordinary creatures cannot do. Even the king level strong can only envy. Angelica, standing quietly by the side, smiled and said, "Congratulations to my lord for his great progress in strength, and he is one step closer to becoming a god." Lin Yu grinned, feeling very happy. "Finally I've been promoted to extraordinary. Angelica, fly with me for a while, it's my honor." Angelica nodded respectfully. Then, Lin Yu's body slowly floated up, and the speed was getting faster and faster. He flew 100 meters in the blink of an eye. Lin Yu stretched out his hands and embraced the breeze blowing in his face. He felt that his body had merged with this world. Even if he did nothing, he would not fall from a high altitude, just like a person who can swim can float on the water and will not sink. Lin Yu's mind moved. The body flew in the direction of the thought. Although it was far less than the speed of an angel, it was already very cool. Moreover, this was because Lin Yu did not try his best. If he used the magic power in his body, his flying speed would double. Behind him, Angelica's figure also caught up. Without thinking, Lin Yu took Angelica's soft little hand and flew straight out of the territory. Soon, the two flew out of the territory. Arrived at the top of a mountain dozens of kilometers away. Lin Yu stood on the top of the mountain, overlooking the dense jungle and continuous mountains below. He saw that his army was hunting wild monsters in the jungle. It was a group of sexy and beautiful dark elves. Each of them wore black leather jackets and shorts, revealing long white legs. They were like phantoms in the forest, cooperating with each other, hunting monsters on the battlefield. Lin Yu took a deep breath of fresh air and smiled at Secretarian standing beside him. "This is the first time I have left the territory since I came to this world for so long. This is a feeling of freedom. It makes me very happy." Angelica let her little hand be held by Lin Yu, and said softly, "My lord, wait for a while, and soon our angel army will conquer this world. When that time comes in this world, you can go wherever you want. In the future, we will conquer the battlefields of the universe and the universe for you. You are the great creator, the creator of holiness and light, and nothing can imprison you. I look forward to that day," Lin Yu said with a smile. Then, he took Angelica's hand and rushed into the sky. After a while, the two stood in the clouds thousands of meters above. The air pressure at high altitude had no effect on them. Lin Yu looked at the clouds that were undulating like mountains around him, and sighed. Before the advent of Blue Star and miracles, I never thought that humans could reach this point with their own strength. Now, we are just extraordinary and holy. We can get rid of gravity and travel around the world. It's hard to imagine how powerful the real gods are. Angelica said calmly, "Gods are just higher-level creatures. We obeyed your oracle and killed thousands of gods in the name of holy light, so my lord, you don't have to envy me. When your divine power is restored, the highest creatures will be nothing but ants in front of you." Hearing this, Lin Yu's expression remained unchanged. But a big symbol appeared in his mind. Chapter 175. The sky was full of clouds, and the sky was full of clouds. It circled again over the vast jungle. During this time, Lin Yu also witnessed with his own eyes how his secretarian killed several extraordinary beasts with overwhelming power. Such a scene made him envious. Although he has now stepped into the extraordinary realm, he has no combat experience at all. In a real battle, he can't beat the extraordinary beasts. But Lin Yu didn't care. As a lord, he didn't need to participate in the battle personally. He just needed to wait to become a god. Becoming a god and mastering divine power, he can suppress the enemy with divine power. Until Lin Yu had enough fun, the two returned to the territory. "My lord," Angelia said softly, "I'll prepare some hot water for you to wash." "Okay," Lin Yu nodded. When he broke through before, his clothes were already soaked with sweat. Although the clothes had become dry after a walk. But it was still a little uncomfortable to wear. Angelia also discovered this, so she took the initiative to ask before Lin Yu spoke. Soon, Secretarian's preparations were done. Lin Yu also lay in the big wooden barrel in the bathroom. Angelia picked up the clothes that Lin Yu had thrown aside and prepared to wash them. She had never done this kind of work. Angels are sacred creatures, not stained by dust. The angel suits worn on the body also have the effect of purifying all filth. Eating, bathing, washing clothes, and even sleeping, this kind of daily life of mortals is very far away from the angels. And before that, Lin Yu's clothes were first washed by Yida. Later, it was replaced by the six-winged angel Elena. Now, Angelica took over this job. For Angelica herself, it was the first time to do such a mundane thing, and she actually had a strange positive emotion. Serving the Lord of Holy Light is the duty of angels like us. If those guys knew, they would only envy me. Unfortunately, they can only envy me now. Just when Lin Yu was taking a comfortable bath, the island chat channel set off a wave of enthusiasm. Just because of a message sent by a professional, I saw the big brother Lin Yu. Flying hundreds of meters in the sky, there was an 8-winged angel beside him. As soon as this news came out, the whole floating island was in an uproar. This is definitely fake news. Even if he really saw it, that person could not be Lin Yu. As we all know, we humans, like those wingless intelligent races, only have the ability to fly when we step into the extraordinary realm. No matter how fast Lin Yu is promoted, it is impossible for him to step into the extraordinary realm now. Right, it is indeed impossible. The top lords on the island are only at level 5. Compared to the extraordinary realm, there is a gap of 6 major realms. If it is true, how big is the gap between us and Lin Yu? It is simply a world of difference. Speaking of which, except for Lin Yu, who else is qualified to be accompanied by an 8-winged angel? Besides, looking at the entire floating island, only Lin Yu has a military angel, right? Could it be that there are other male human military forces in Lin Yu's territory? How is it possible? If it were me, I would kill all the male human military forces even if they surrendered. The upstairs is so murderous. Just at this time, the combat professional who broke the news stood up again. I can be sure that it is Boss Lin Yu. Because he is wearing the clothes of our Blue Star, and it looks like a school uniform. School uniform? Boss Lin Yu is still a student. This is not strange. The floating island randomly summons humans between the ages of 18 and 40. It is normal for Lin Yu to be a student. That's right. There are also several professional students in our team. Fuck, I seem to have discovered a shocking secret. Boss Lin Yu, is he my classmate Lin Yu? I thought they had the same name before, but now the more I think about it, the more likely it is. Your classmate? Yes. There is a person named Lin Yu in our class. Including him, there are a total of 7 of us summoned to the floating island. And I finally realized my dream and became the boss of the pig factory. Let's not talk about other things first. What the hell is the boss of the pig factory? Raising pigs. I asked my soldiers to catch hundreds of wild boars and raise them in my spiritual fields. Every one of them is fat and plump, and I also found a very magical place. Those pigs obey my orders. Next, I plan to select the best pigs and form a wild hunting night color. Hiss. Awesome, brother upstairs, you are really a talent. Thank you very much. Let's talk about business. Which city are you in? Which school? When we return to Blue Star, we can have a good exchange. Especially those pigs you raise. I am willing to buy them back at a high price. We are. None of your business. Do you think I am stupid? Would I tell you such important information? What if it is really my classmate Lin Yu? What if I leak his information and he gets angry and kills me? Also, from now on, I refuse to add any friends. Don't try to coerce or bribe me. A certain area in the dark forest. Nearly 1,000 frost dragons gathered in the air above the jungle. At this moment, they were hunting wild monsters in the nearby area with a intermediate village as the center. Lin Yu is actually a student. Inside the territory, Xia Qingyu stared blankly at the information on the island chat channel with a somewhat surprised expression. In her imagination, Lin Yu should be a burly and handsome young man. But she didn't expect. He's younger than me. Xia Qingyu's mouth twitched slightly. In schools on Blue Star, only students below college level will be equipped with school uniforms. Therefore, Lin Yu is most likely a high school student, no more than 18 or 19 years old at most. And she is 23. Naturally, she is older than Lin Yu. A high school student named Lin Yu, the second professional to be summoned. Adding up this information, we will soon be able to find out his specific information and identify him. That being said, unfortunately, it is useless. Because Lin Yu is still on the island. Who knows if he will return to Blue Star? Even if he does, he will definitely be fully prepared. The most important thing is that with Lin Yu's terrifying promotion speed, He may have been promoted to the demigod realm by the time he returns to Blue Star. And the strongest professional on Blue Star is only at the saint level. Returning with the power of a demigod can only be described as invincible. Isn't it courting death to check Lin Yu's information? Lin Yu's promotion speed is too scary. It's hard to believe that he has already been promoted to the extraordinary level, you know. Most of the veteran professionals a year ago were only at the king level and extraordinary level. As far as I know, they all failed the special killing mission, therefore, they were stuck in the level. Even some professionals lost hope of advancement and never went to the island again after returning to Blue Star. Xia Qingyu has seen some veteran professionals. They didn't go to the island for months. In the end, they were deprived of their professional status by the floating island, but their level and strength were not deprived, and they lived a happy life on Blue Star. This is why countless people are looking forward to being summoned. Forget it, why do I think about these? I have to think about how to get through the crisis in front of me now. The crisis Xia Qingyu faces is Lin Yu's angel army. Once the angel army kills them, it's okay to surrender. If she doesn't accept the surrender, won't she be dead? He glanced at the red mark on his right wrist, and the progress of the energy bar was 65%. We must speed up the hunting speed and fill the energy bar. By then, if it really doesn't work, I will hide back to Blue Star. He won't chase me so far, right? Thinking of this, Xia Qingyu suddenly ignited a glimmer of hope and motivation. However, she didn't know that the cross-border teleportation array leading to Blue Star had been broken long ago. She can't go back. Here in the territory. In the evening, Lin Yu's 80,000-man army returned one after another. They brought back extremely rich spoils for Lin Yu. And a big surprise. Among the many drawings, there was a drawing of the restaurant that Lin Yu needed now. This means that his territory can finally be upgraded to a town. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.